atmospheric penetration. Speaking of laying pipe, all right, I'm going to switch us over to science and technology. EJ's F1 and space. EJ's F1, space, and rocket review. Atmospheric penetration. All right, guys, I'll be back in a second. Enjoy the vidya. Need a train video?
There was a time when a meteor flashing through the sky struck man with a deep sense of wonder. Even today, man's reaction to a meteoric display is likely to jam the switchboards with reports of imminent invasion from space. But as heirs to the knowledge, disciplines, and apparatus of the scientific revolution, we are familiar with, and at least partially understand, the meteoric phenomena. A meteoroid traveling in space outside our atmosphere remains unseen by man, for the molecules in space are so dispersed that collision with them causes no visible effect. If its trajectory traverses the Earth's atmosphere, it becomes a meteor. Here it begins to collide with more molecules. These collisions become more and more frequent as the meteor descends into the denser air of lower altitudes, causing it to decelerate. Each collision converts some of the energy of motion into heat energy, and the heat continues to increase until the meteor itself becomes incandescent, scribing its visible path through the night sky. Destroyed in the atmosphere by this heating, most meteors present no danger to man. Now and then, one is large enough to survive its passage through the atmosphere to Earth. It is then called a meteorite, and some are very large indeed. Dr. Peter Parameter became interested in meteors early in his career, and once wrote a paper titled,
"A thermokinetic description of bodies in passage through a plastic medium of nonlinear density at random velocities and angles, which could be just about summed up with this equation."
With this equation, his fellow scientists and designers are able to explain the effects of atmospheric penetration on differing bodies, those with different ballistic coefficients, at various velocities and angles. For example, if two bodies of different weights enter the Earth's atmosphere with the same velocity and entry angle, both the heavy body and the light one will begin to heat up at the same time. But impacts of air molecules slow the light body sooner. This deceleration of the light body occurs at higher altitudes, while the heavier, more energetic body penetrates deeper before it reaches peak deceleration. The total amount of heat generated by the lighter one is less than that generated by the heavy one, whose larger mass gives it greater kinetic energy. Two identical bodies with the same velocity entering the atmosphere at different angles also will decelerate at different rates. The steeper angle causes a more rapid encounter with the dense air, resulting in more abrupt deceleration. The total heat generated will be the same for both bodies, but peak heating will be less for the shallow entry. With identical meteors entering at the same angle but with different velocities, the faster meteor, under heavier bombardment by air molecules, will have greater deceleration, generating more heat and at a higher rate. But Dr. Parameter is no longer merely an observer interested in understanding the phenomena of meteors. A meteor is just an aimless traveler in space. Doc finds himself now involved in designs with a purpose and an aim. A missile has a target, and a spacecraft has a destination, a journey's end. To these, Doc applies his knowledge. He knows natural phenomena, both of aimless meteor and aimed missile. He knows that as they traverse the atmosphere, they heat up. If the heating or deceleration of a vehicle is excessive, the mission is threatened. Man cannot change the laws of nature, so he must use his knowledge to work within those laws. Doc Parameter knows that the two natural enemies to successful atmospheric penetration are deceleration and heat. He can fight these enemies on two possible fronts. First, on the design front, by modifying the vehicle's shape and size relative to its weight. In other words, its ballistic coefficient. And second, on the program front, by altering the vehicle's trajectory, its velocity, its attitude, and its angle of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Dr. Parameter is now ready to use his technology to plan a successful re-entry for an ICBM warhead. He knows that of the two natural enemies, deceleration and heat, high deceleration is not a problem with a warhead, but too much heat could destroy it. He first surveys the project on the program front. He knows that the re-entry velocities and angles are essentially set by the mission. But to reduce heat load, the velocity of the re-entry vehicle could theoretically be reduced by firing a retro rocket. On investigation, he finds that in order to decrease re-entry velocities sufficiently by this method, a retro thrust system would be required weighing many times the weight of the warhead. This method is out. He next considers the possibility of changing the re-entry angle. He knows that a shallow angle will lessen the peak heat load by stretching the heating over a longer period of time. But the total heat generated will be the same either way, and the vehicle could absorb even more heat during this longer re-entry. Furthermore, a shallow re-entry angle has other serious drawbacks. First, a shallow angle impairs accuracy by deflection in the atmosphere. Second, it affords more time for enemy interception. A steep re-entry improves the missile's chances of avoiding interception and of reaching its target with minimum atmospheric deflection. In this case, altering the program is not the answer to the heat problem. Dr. Parameter must attack the problem of heat on the design front. Logic would seem to indicate that fast travel requires a streamlined shape to slice its way through the air. At subsonic velocities, this is true, but at supersonic speeds, the moving vehicle displaces air molecules which bounce off, forming a shock wave. As speed increases, the shock wave becomes more severe, and heating increases. An ICBM will have a free-fall re-entry speed in excess of 23,000 feet per second. At this speed, the heat of molecular collision and friction, shearing of air molecules, is concentrated in a narrow zone along the surface of a streamlined vehicle. The heat generated may cause the temperature to exceed 15,000 degrees Fahrenheit. To combat this terrific heat, Dr. Parameter designs instead a re-entry vehicle with a blunt frontal area. The blunt shape creates its shock wave somewhat ahead of the vehicle. This occurs because the atmospheric molecules colliding with its frontal surface bounce back and intercept others coming in, setting up a kind of picket line in advance of the warhead. The peak heat is generated in this area away from the surface of the vehicle. Although the blunt shape decreases the peak heating of the warhead to half that of the streamlined shape, it will still heat up to 7,000 degrees Fahrenheit, much too hot for unprotected warhead structures. To further reduce heating, Dr. Parameter must find other techniques in addition to the blunt shape. His first solution is the heat sink. Use the blunt design and add a mass of heat-conducting metal large enough to absorb most of the heat generated during re-entry without melting before impact. It works, but he is not yet satisfied. The weight of the heat sink displaces more than 1/4 of the payload. Furthermore, the blunt design slows the missile, keeping it in the atmosphere a longer time, making it less accurate and easier to intercept. For the greatest accuracy, and shortest time in the atmosphere, Doc knows that the streamlined shape is the best. But the heat sink cannot absorb and distribute the sudden extreme heat generated during the re-entry of a streamlined vehicle. Doc reasons.
If the heat cannot be absorbed, why not eject it as fast as it's generated?
The answer is ablation.
Ablation! Coat the frontal surface of the streamlined missile with layers of ablative material composed of fibers, resins, and ceramics.
This ablative coating protects the missile from the extreme heat in several ways. It is a poor heat conductor. Its surface gradually melts away, taking heat with it, and its vapor forms a thin insulating layer, deflecting some of the heat from the surface. The ablative principle combats the heat problem effectively and permits steeper re-entry angles while adding a minimum of weight. The streamlined missile, with its increased speed, affords the least possibility of interception and the greatest accuracy. It does produce a huge deceleration factor approaching 150 Gs. Fortunately, this poses no threat to a warhead. But for manned or other recovery missions, the G-load is a most important factor. For manned re-entry, this force should be held below 10 Gs. A shallow re-entry angle of about 1 to 5 degrees is the simple answer. The shallower the angle, the less the G-load. But this will be sustained over a longer period of time. This means a longer time at high speed through the friction of the atmosphere. Let's take a moment to see why this is not desirable. Dr. Parameter?
Thank you. Gentlemen, we have here a kettle of water. Heathcliff, we can use you in this experiment.
Oh boy, an experiment.
Thank you, sir. Now, if we may have another kettle of water and your stand-in. Thank you. Now we'll proceed with the experiment.
Experiment?
We'll add the same amount of fuel under each kettle, but alter the form of the fuel under one kettle to make it burn faster. We ignite both at the same time and compare the results. Splendid. I'd like to point out that the fast-burning fuel, although reaching its intensity quickly, exhausted itself quickly. The heat absorbed was negligible. The slow-burning fuel, on the other hand, gradually increases in intensity. It will generate the same total heat load, but over a longer period of time, and you'll notice more heat is absorbed. Thank you, Heathcliff.
Thank you, Dr. Parameter. So although the peak heat generated in the shallow re-entry is less, the capsule is in the heating regime for a longer time, and without the utmost protection would absorb an intolerable amount of heat. For manned re-entry, Dr. Parameter overcomes the deceleration enemy through program with the shallow angle, but he must combat heat on the design front. A blunt shape to cause a detached shock wave, a picket line against heat, and ablative materials for additional heat control. The Doc is confident his new design will fulfill the requirements. Now to try it out. He wants low peak deceleration, so the shallow re-entry path is mandatory. This brings him down safely, if a little off target. To achieve some control and accuracy as well as safety, Dr. Parameter has been working on other design concepts, particularly shapes that produce lift. He knows that a ballistic missile is designed and programmed to hit a particular point on the Earth's surface. A manned ballistic vehicle with the same objective is much less accurate due to its design and long, shallow penetration. But a lifting vehicle, which is capable of descending at a still more shallow angle and with an extremely low deceleration rate, is able to change direction. This control gives it wide selectivity of landing sites within a large footprint area. For the shortest range within the footprint, the vehicle is pulled up into a maximum lift attitude at re-entry. This induces maximum drag, causing a steeper, more abrupt descent. For the longest possible range, the vehicle must assume the attitude of maximum lift over drag ratio. This footprint, huge at first, shrinks gradually as the vehicle descends. Dr. Parameter, while considering the advantages of lifting vehicles, is also aware of their drawbacks. First, the lifting structure itself imposes weight penalties, which compete with the all-important matter of payload. Then, lifting vehicles may also spend up to 20 minutes in the heat regime, and being more streamlined, they require a still more complex heat protection system, competing still further with payload. Dr. Parameter, with his associates, has studied the strategy of atmospheric penetration. He knows its natural enemies, deceleration and heat, and has met them on the two fronts of program and design. He has accomplished important objectives. For the intercontinental ballistic missile, the objectives are rapid atmospheric penetration and accuracy. The warhead's natural enemy is sudden, intense heat. Its program? High velocity, steep re-entry. Its design, streamlined with ablation to combat sudden heat. For a manned or other recovery mission, the objectives are, first of all, safety, and then control. The mission's natural enemies, high deceleration, sustained heat. Its program, shallow re-entry for low deceleration. The vehicle's design, blunt, yet with control capabilities, a maneuverable lifting shape. The resulting long duration within the heat regime exacts a weight penalty because a complex heat protection system is needed. There will always be problems to solve. Dr. Parameter has worked out successful compromises so far, but he is still puzzling, still exploring. He plots his graphs, his curves, and flings them boldly into space. But he knows that we have barely gotten our little toe into space, and he constantly seeks to improve that toehold. He must hold to the possible, yet he constantly works along its impossible edges. He has opened the way for man's safe re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Journey's end for space travel.
Who made this again? The Air Force. Welcome to the Space F1 and Rocket Review. To the desert of the real.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey Jasper, 26-month reset, and then James had a 28er in there too. Thanks guys. Alright, anyway. So. Wait, just.
Let's start it with controversy as ending with controversy.
No, Mikey, no, Mike, that was so not right.
Here comes.
Discovery,
No,
go at
Mikey,
throttle up.
no! Fade free. Max Verstappen is your world champion! This is White Thunder, by the
Discovery,
way.
go at throttle up.
Twitch made you change your name. Oh, alright, man. Cool. Sweet. But also, can I just...
In me, but he hasn't. He's got
we're gonna play the whole thing.
Start it with controversy as ending with
No,
controversy.
Mikey, no, Mike, that was so not right.
Here comes.
I just need to listen to it. This is my favorite.
With controversy as ending with
No,
controversy.
Mikey, no, Mike, that was so not right.
Here comes Lewis Hamilton.
It's so bad. Why would you do this? I still don't have my voice back. Oh my god. Can you show the highlights? I can't show the highlights. Oh my god. So, the Formula One race, it was the last race of the season. We got about 100 days, give or take, until the 2022 season starts. But this one went out with a little bit of a bang, to say the least. Oh, nice, iPad. Cool. Honestly, playing Team Principal Comms was the worst decision this season. It's so bad. All right, so this is spoilers, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. So, the Formula One race at Abu Dhabi was a pretty interesting race. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton went tied into this race. So whoever won this race wins the whole thing, wins the Drivers' Championship for the year. Needless to say, the racing was decent. Most of the race was kind of dull. It was kind of crazy at the beginning and kind of crazy at the end. So Max and Lewis were fighting, and Lewis went off the track and got out in front of Max in the first couple of laps, and they concluded that was fine, that was okay, because Max forced him off the track, etc., etc. And then, it was pretty, Perez was, Lewis was out in front, and then Perez tried to block him during the pit strategy, and they actually did some pretty good racing, which was cool. Checo, the unsung hero of the Red Bull Drivers' Championship. And then at the end, with like 5 laps left, okay? With 5 laps left, Mick Schumacher and Nick Latifi at the back of the pack were going at it, and Latifi drove into the scruff on the track and crashed. And that brought out a safety car. And then the stewards have the stewards who are like the referees for the race. They have 2 ways of enforcing the safety car, and it's kind of at discretion. So the first way that they can enforce it is to have all the lap cars pass. Okay, all the lap cars can pass and they can catch up and unlap themselves, right? The second way is for everybody to stay in their positions. So and that's the one that they said. They said everybody's going to stay in their positions and we're going to go from there. So there was 5 laps left when this happened. So 4 laps left, 3 laps left, 2 laps left. At 2 laps left, the stewards just reverted their decision and selected a bunch of cars that were allowed to pass the safety car on the second to last lap. Those 4 cars specifically, they had 5 cars, and those 5 cars specifically were the cars that were between first and second. And they let them go. They let them go. And then on the last lap, Max passes Lewis and wins the championship. Oh my God. That's why Toto Wolff, who's the team principal at Mercedes, is like, no, that's so not right. You can't do that. Oh my God. So the stewards made a decision ruling and then said, no, never mind. Like, oh my God. It's so bad. They only let the drivers between first and second pass each other because they wanted to race on the last lap. Oh my God, dude, it's so bad. Now, okay, here, on one hand, I think it's hilarious. It's pretty dang funny because Mercedes didn't win a championship. This is the first time anybody but Mercedes has won since 2014. Since 2014, Mercedes, which is great. It was nice to see somebody else, but also at the same time, I've been saying pretty much every race that the FIA and referees ruling are ruining the game. They're ruining the sport. And this is a pretty good example of that. And Mercedes got really pissed off, because one of the rulings didn't go in their favor, and most of the rulings had gone in their favor in the past. This one didn't, though. I don't understand why Lewis gets so much hate. He's an amazing driver. Not defending the whiny Mercedes. Evil Bit, I gained a lot of respect for Lewis Hamilton over the weekend. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't particularly like Lewis, but the reason why I don't like Lewis is because he's on the other he's on the other team. He's not a bad person. He whines a little bit, but here's the thing. He didn't whine. They're like, "Oh, Lewis, you got screwed, right?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm good. We'll get him next year." And then walked away. That's it. He's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't get it. I wanted it, didn't get it. We'll get him next year. I'm like, huh. Are you sure? You know? I'm like, really? He's just like, yeah. We'll get it. Lewis, as Brady just said, yeah, we'll get him next year. And I'm like, all right. No excuses, no bullcrap. You get him next year. Good on you. I like you now. Good for you. That made me pretty dang happy. It was nice to see. Toto, on the other hand, got a little pissed off, but it was kind of rightly so. But why weren't you getting mad when these calls were going in your favor? You know? And then he went and punched a baby. Yeah, maybe, goalie. Hey, you can be pissed about it. Imagine Horner in Toto's place. Yeah, no. Also, all F1 rules are crap. You know what I've been saying? The sport's overregulated and the FIA is ruining it. I said that last week. I said that the week before. You know? Well, now a championship got decided off of a really, really bad call. Really bad. Oh, please. He said all that when he thought Mercedes was going to win the protest. Yeah, maybe. He didn't show up for the press conference after the race, only the podium. See? Yeah, maybe. Mazzi's ruining it by not knowing the rules. Yeah. What would you have done in Massey's place? You have to make the call whether you let those lap cars go or not, Alleviate. You can't change your mind. Once you make the ruling, you can't change your frigging mind. Because the teams are going to play their strategies based off of what you say. You can't say one thing and then do the other. Massey's done that the last 2 races. He did that in Jeddah and it screwed Red Bull. And now he did it in Abu Dhabi and screwed Mercedes. In American football, for the people overseas, we call that a makeup call. Yeah, makeup calls are there for the fact that you made a crappy ruling in the first place. It would have been a BS way to win a championship under caution. Yeah, maybe. You have to make a decision. It's like in Jeddah last week when Massey only told Max that he had to surrender the position. He didn't tell Lewis, so Lewis ended up driving up Max's tailpipe because Lewis didn't know. He didn't tell him. That's why Lewis drove up his tailpipe. It's funny because Max was still found at fault. Max wasn't found at fault. You were found at fault because you didn't do your job correctly. But, you know, the FIA, you know, we've investigated ourselves and we've found no wrongdoing. It's like, okay. You know, you need to help Netflix get a good ending to their F1 series, Orders from Liberty. Yeah, Shaq, I don't think that's what's going on, but I think Charlie Whiting left a power vacuum. That's what was going on. But, you know, who knows? I mean, LM, that's what I would have done. I would have red flagged the race. I would have red flagged the race and then kept the pit lane open. You really want a good race? You really want good racing? Put everyone on equal terms. Red flag the race. Park for May. You can work on the car if you want to. Go ahead. Go. Have at it. 5 laps. Lap down cars can unlap themselves. And then, you know, you'd have 1 lap of everybody catching up, the pack regulating itself, and then boom, you'd have 4 laps of action. That's what I would have done. That's well within the rules. Well, Max, I mean, as long as we're playing with interpretation of the rules here, I would say, yeah, you can work on your car. Go ahead. 4-lap sprint race. Winner takes all. Put everybody on equal terms. But no, they screwed Mercedes. Like, screwed them. Like, and don't get me wrong, I ain't a Mercedes fan. I'm a Ferrari fan. But they screwed them hard. Like, that's bad. Like, I take pure schadenfreude in the fact that Lewis lost. But also, that's messed up. That's messed up. Yeah, Baronock. But then again, it's kind of on Mercedes to not pit. Why didn't they pit Hamilton? They screwed up. Toto should have brought him in. Red Bull's constantly taking those new tires, you know. And no one's talking about Yuki and P4. You know, all the Mercedes and the Red Bull guys duking each other out, and there's just me sitting over here with this. Forza Ferrari. Macchina Grande, la Macchina Grande, campioni del mondo in 2007. But still though, my guy with the third. Yeah, Demon, they really got hung out to dry, didn't they? You know me and Mercedes, but I'm pretty apathetic. Congrats to Max even for being in this position to take advantage. Yeah, no, Audrey, it's cool. Like, I'm glad that Max won, but man. Yeah. Yeah, Hoosh. There are a lot of people that are pissed, man. A lot of people that are pissed. Dude, look, here. Like, dude, I'm not the most opinionated person on Twitter. Like, I don't do stuff like that. But also, at the same time, look, I mean, like, that's something I've been pretty dang vocal about, you know? Like, oh, absolutely. I mean, sorry, I don't mean, you know, Waffle is not the most unclassy, but yep, see? Look, see? This was a week ago. The FIA ruined another close race. I'm telling you. I've been saying this for weeks. And, you know, Mercedes, folks that are Mercedes fans in chat, not that anybody turned a blind eye, but it sucks when it happens to you, right? It's freaking annoying. This has happened to Ferrari in 2019 for the entire damn season, man. It hurts. It's freaking annoying, right? They need to shut the frick up and let them race. Like, how are they supposed to tailor a race strategy to rules that are constantly changing? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And, you know, I ain't one to defend Mercedes either. Screw them. They've won enough. Let somebody else win, for frick's sake. No. I mean, on the other hand, no, you shouldn't. Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. That's stupid. You know? Ferrari got caught cheating the engine. Yeah. Cheating the engine. Okay. Can we listen to the Hamilton radio? Dude, I don't want it's bad, man. Yeah, Laserman, they're over, dude. The rules. Look, it's just that Charlie Whiting left a power vacuum, dude. In reality, he was doing the job of like 4 or 5 different guys. And then Massey took his position, and Massey really only is good for one of those positions at best. Long story short, that's your problem right there. FIA favored Mercedes plenty of times this season, so in the end it's even. Yeah, and Roy, that's the other thing that Mercedes fans got to understand. Max got screwed multiple times. For Lewis to get a 10-second penalty for almost killing Max at Silverstone is frankly ridiculous. And it was Lewis's fault. I said it was Lewis's fault when it happened. Nico Rosberg in a presser at Abu Dhabi on Sunday said it was Lewis's fault too. So I'm not just pulling that out of my tail. He shouldn't have shot the gap at Copse. That's stupid. Right? You got a 10-second penalty for that? Dude, you should have been black flagged for that. You blatantly shot a gap that you knew wasn't there. Like, that's what I mean. Mercedes has been getting a lot of good calls, and it sucks getting burned from one, doesn't it? But this is what everybody's been trying to say. Well, you guys have been winning races the entire time. No, it was a 10-second penalty, Daitor, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no pain, no, that's not right, no. You know, like, they've been pretty dang lax with with enforcing the rules here. And Red Bull and Ferrari too has gotten kind of shafted because of it. And that's what I've been trying to say. These rules are going to come back to bite you. That's what I mean. They're over-regulating the sport, and the rules are going to come back to bite you, and they did. Which sucks. It's freaking annoying, isn't it? Doesn't it suck? Lewis should have 8 right now. Like, I hate the guy, and that's blatant, man. Like, but the stewards can't just change the rules willy-nilly because they want to see a freaking race. That's bull crap. That is bull crap. Like 100%. But where was this outrage when you guys were getting all these calls during the year? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to go both ways. It's got to be give and take. I think everyone here, regardless of what happened, can agree that Mike Massey needs to during a race. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. Oh, yeah, T-Man. I got that stuff loaded up. Don't you worry. Am I right? Like, that's, dude, you guys got screwed. Like, screwed hard, but you live and die by the sword. You know, it's like in American football, you get a bad call. Oh, well. Max's hard racing needs to be reined in. You can't dive bomb the corner and expect the driver in front of you just to, I mean... Demon, I disagree. I disagree. You know, Lewis had no problem doing it at Silverstone. You know what? If it was up to me, I'd call it like it is. Like, unless you're blatantly trying to run somebody off the road, have at it. You think that's good for your car? You think that's good for your team? Go and do it. You crash into the other guy, that's your fault. If you're going to shoot the gap on a corner, if you hit the other car that's defending the position, guess whose fault it is? It's your fault. But I don't have problems with people shooting the gap. That's fine. I want racing like that. Believe it or not, as an F1 fan, I want racing like that. I want it to be close. I want, like what Checo did with Lewis. That was brilliant. Dude, Checo, oh. Perfect. You know, Lewis did it, but he's a little more controlled than with what he does. You know? Yeah, we will watch that, Vasia. The Mexican Minister of Defense. You know? Yeah, Hoosier for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, it sucks, right? Like, that's... Dude, this is what we've been saying the entire season. Like, this has been happening to everybody else, and Mercedes got burned on one, and now you guys see it. That stuff needs to stop. I've been calling that for the entire year. That stuff needs to stop, man. It's ruining the game. Right? I think that's something everybody can agree with. Dude, I want Red Bull out there and Max out there giving it their all simultaneously. I want to see Lewis. I want to see what Lewis is really made of. Let's go. I want to see freaking racing, man. Let's go, Blues. Oh, you shut the hell up. I understand Kimi getting driver of the day because it was the last race, but Checo's beast, man. That was some really good driving between him and Lewis. It was it was a treat to see that. That's what I want. I want that. I want to see that more. I don't want to see the stewards, reneging the rules. I don't want to see that crap. That's terrible. It's terrible for the sport. It's stupid. I'd rather have Suzuka in 91 than that. Let me go that far. I would rather have that. Let's hope Michigan can beat Georgia. Yeah, T-Man, go blue. You know? It is very impressive. So you're saying you're not a fan of ref ball. I mean, Audrey, how is this any different than the NFL? You get screwed. You get screwed on a call. I hate that. But, once again, in football, there's a precedent that every refereeing crew is a little bit different, and you got to kind of adapt and react. But see, with the stewards in F1, it's the same bull crap every time. You don't know which way they're gonna go. One day they'll favor Red Bull, one day they'll favor Mercedes, another day they'll favor Mercedes, and Mercedes, like, that's dumb. The Tuck rule won the Patriots a Super Bowl. You're not wrong. Yep. Or F1 in Indy in 2005. Yep. Add more gravel and grass areas. Stop making runoffs. Yeah. Runoffs will fix that problem. LM runoffs will prevent people from cutting corners, and it'll prevent people from shooting the gap. I agree. Because what Lewis did on lap 5 is kind of bullcrap, dude. Max didn't force him off the track. He just cut the track. And I firmly believe that, guys. You know what the difference is? Max stayed in the racing line. He stayed on the track. Well, no, he didn't stay in the racing line. He stayed on the track. If Max dive bombs Lewis and both of them go off the track, that's Max's fault. If Max dive bombs Lewis, Lewis goes off the track and Max doesn't, it's kind of contextual, I guess, but he stayed in bounds. That's the rules. Checo on Lewis was perfect. Max goes over the line too much and has hit either the driver or other. Whatever. I mean, Demon, I don't know how you're selectively saying that. What about Lewis at Austria with Ocon? Or no, not Ocon. With who was it? Perez forced him off the track in turn 4. The Stewart's team is different too for every race. Massey's there the entire time. It was Albon. Yeah, that's right, Hamelot. Yeah, he forced Albon off the track. How is that not the same context? It's the same thing. Like, why did they not say it when it happens to Lewis? But if Max jumps in there and it happens to him, he gets penalized and everybody gets shown, oh, he's a crazy driver. Lewis does the same thing, guys. Like, and here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying one should be penalized over the other. I'm saying neither of them should be penalized. Just race. You know, unless it's blatant, unless you're blatantly forcing somebody off the track. Like, look, I think it's really stupid to sit here and think that people intentionally run people off the track. Now, Senna and Prost in 91, yeah. Or was it 92? It was 91 or 92. Yeah, that was pretty blatant, but I want to see him race. If Max thinks he's smart enough to be able to dive bomb something like that and get away with it, hey, that's his call. He's a professional driver. You're not. '89, Dr. J? Yeah, maybe. Schumi on Jacques? Dude, I'd rather see that, guys. I'd rather see Cale Yarborough or Bobby Allison. You think the guy took you out? Good. Rip him out of his car and start a fist fight, and whoever wins, wins. I mean, but that's the American in me. I know that the sport isn't about that. I get it. Formula One ain't NASCAR. I understand. But, I mean, that'd be cool. Who do you think would win? I don't know. Lewis probably knows some, like, Kung Fu Tai Chi stuff. Like, Max will throw a freaking punch and Lewis will just break his arm. I can see that, you know? I just want to stir the pot. I got to run. All right, White, I'll talk to you later, man. I prefer Max taking Lewis out over what happened on Sundays. That's what I'm saying, Demon. I'd rather have that. I would rather have that any day of the week, man. Something like that, O-Force, yeah. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, everybody's pissed off. Maybe except for Red Bull fans. Everybody's pissed off. You don't want to win a championship that way. It leaves a pretty damn sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are going to gain short-term. You're going to gain short-term viewership, but that kind of stuff is the thing that turns off your longtime fans to the sport. And I'm not sure that's what you want. Russell slapping Bottas wasn't enough. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here going, cars go, new. Oh, you know what? Okay, that's a good time. That's a good time to pivot. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. The stewards screwed Mercedes badly. You guys have a right to be pissed off. It was bullcrap. But other teams got screwed via the same stuff throughout the entire freaking season, you know? It's important to know that. But also, here, how's this for a pivot? Boom. That is very right, yeah. That's the best. That's the best, man. Okay. How about we line up some space news here? Here, this happened yesterday. We had the AMU-7 and the AMU-3 Proton launch. Let's watch some rocket launch footage, shall we? Let's go. What do you think of the new wheels? I'll have to check. That's very weird looking. Hello, pretty. Yeah, Chris, that's a good point. Oh, oh, oh! Ecco lo show. This at all. Yeah, yeah. What is the American version equivalent of Proton? Delta. Proton is very aesthetic. Proton's very aesthetic. I would say Titan. Titan actually probably is its closest counterpart. It's somewhere between Titan and Delta 4. You know, somewhere around there. Now, don't get me wrong. Delta 4 can move more into space than Proton can, but can I just? Why is there such a prominent punch sound when it starts up? That's an overpressure event, 31. Basically, rocket engines are explosions, and that's the sound of that's the start of the explosion. It's called an overpressure event. Yeah, maybe. She's a biggin. Staged combustion cycle hydrolocks. I don't know. What's Rocket Lab going to call their next rocket? How about Electron 2, Electron Boogaloo? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the 31, the Russians have really, really good audio and video for their videos. Yeah, it's there. It's quenched out by the sound suppressors, though. You don't hear it as much, but oh, it's there. Can I just back this up for a second? And just it's right. Oh, that's those plumes are crisp. Those Oh, that's crisp. The stuff falling off the rocket is insulative material. It's supposed to do that, by the way, in case anybody's wondering. That is very... I really appreciate this. Are these film cooled? Doesn't need to be... I mean, actually, no. I'm not sure if they're film cooled. I don't think so. You know what's really cool, though? The LE9 engine developed for the H3 doesn't have a significant overpressure event at startup like most rocket engines do. It's one of the smoothest engine starts you've ever seen. Yep. I mean, the Hypergulls might have something to do with this. This one is a little bit louder, because Hypergulls is like instant combustion. When they hit each other, they pop, you know? And this thing is... Believe it or not, guys, I think these are RD0146s. Those engines are stage combustion cycle. Yeah, stage combustion cycle Hypergulls. Now, for the nerds, that's actually pretty cool. I won't... For the people that don't understand what that means, it's just a very interesting way of delivering fuel. It's a very interesting way of delivering fuel for a hypergolic system. Yeah, I need more engineering fluid. Give me 1 second. Those are the Space News yawns, Revel. They always happen. Can I just... So once again, this is footage from the Express AMU 7 AMU 3 launch. This was yesterday morning. These are Russian TV satellites. All right, so headphone users, once again. Say that again, but in car talk. Supercharged diesel engine. It's very weird. Usually diesels are turbo. That's some freaking sick footage, man. Let's see that in an instant replay. All right, look at this launch. Mint. You sound like the Swedish. Sebby, your mother baked criminally good Christmas cookies. They may or may not be gone long before it. Bro, don't eat all the cookies, especially if they weren't for you. Mom, Mom's gonna be pissed, man. NASA could learn something about launch audio from this. Bonjour, Alex. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Yeah? Here. Look at this. One more time for Alex. Ready? Here. Headphone users. Très bien. Et vous? Très bien. Merci. Oh, hell yeah! Давай, Протон, давай!
Go and throttle up.
don't hate that. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. So, Proton gets its looks, so to speak, from the bottom here. The cool thing about this rocket is that it looks like it's a bunch of side boosters, right? The reality is not that. This is a bunch of fuel tanks on the side of the rocket. So there's a central core fuel tank that has, I think that has the liquid fuel in it, and these outer tanks are carrying the oxidizer. They ship the fuel tanks in pieces because they have to ship everything out to Baikonur via rail. So you can only get something so big under all the bridges and tunnels, right? So they actually build Proton in pieces. It's shipped in the core stage right here. The first stage is shipped in 7 different components. So the oxygen tank with the engine is shipped as one component, and the center tank is shipped as another component, and they assemble the thing at the launch site. This is how they can get the big diameter for Proton. It has a wider diameter than most Russian rockets, and there's a very good reason for that, because it's assembled in pieces. That says Krunichev right there. What propellants are they using? Unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine and nitrogen, dinitrogen tetroxide. Yeah. See? Proton. M. Fresh and totally can be touched. Yep. That's where it gets the aesthetic view. Like, a lot of people think these are attachable side boosters. They're not side boosters. Those are the fuel tanks. So it's like a Saturn 1B in that regard, which is just, sorry. Just gotta back it up. You know what? I'm not sorry. Look at how crisp that is. Slightly underexpanded. Got a nice diamond going on here on all 6 engines. That's very nice. Very, very nice. Do you find something odd in this picture? No? Looks fine to me. Hey, that's pretty good. Perfect rendition of nozzle expansion mechanics, but in orange. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's real nice. See how... Okay, so when I say, oh, it's nice and crisp, see how defined this line is right here? And see how it goes out slightly and then comes back in? So for the people that don't speak rocket science, the fact that this line is so ridiculously crisp, and it's like it expands out a little bit after the nozzle and then comes back in and collapses in on itself, making this flow phenomenon down here, that's how you can tell a healthy rocket engine. That's a really easy way to look at it. You got nice defined lines right here. That's a really, really good way to tell that a rocket engine is performing just fine. All 6 of these bad boys. Now, that over there is just looks like some debris that met the flames right there. But see how these streams are perfect? They're perfectly crisp. And they go out a little bit. And that's called under expansion right there, which is what you want for first stage engines. That's perfect. That's very nice. That's six healthy engines right there. I think the Hypergulls are odorless 31. Yeah. You got to get that nice hourglass thing going. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, all right? Okay. All right, that's weird. All right. Query, apart from the Shuttle era and Apollo era launch pad cameras, are there any source of great slow-mo engine firing videos? Yeah, I can think of one off the top of my head, Alex, if you want to check it out. Looks like a reversed candle flame. Razor, yeah, kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's not that far off. Rocket engines create a lot of fire, dude. It's not a detonation at the bottom of the rocket engine. It's a combustion, just like a candle. A candle's combusting stuff. It's using the atmosphere for oxidizer, and it's using the candle wick with the paraffin for fuel, right? That's what a candle does. What a rocket engine does is not that far off from that. Same thing. Similar flame phenomenon. It's very similar. But Alex, here. Here, I got one for you. How about this one? Here, ready? This is even in slow-mo for you. Watch. Give it a second. Here we go. Ready? This is an Atlas Centaur. Atlas Centaur AC5. So the vernier engine's up at the top there. That's how Atlas steers. It uses 3 fixed engines. The engines aren't moving. They don't have gimbal. Atlas has verniers on the side to steer it, kind of like Soyuz. Show the Falcon 9 slow-mos. Yeah, sure. Oh, well, I'll tell you, you want me to do the Boomhauer voice, man. I'll tell you that right there. You're going to fire. You're going to come out rocket and woo, out the bottom, man. You're going to come out right on there. Get. Yeah, this is some pretty good footage here. I tell you what, you're going to see the dang old fuel lines pop out there, man. Look at that. Just out the bottom of the rocket there, man. I tell you what. That's very nice. Uh-oh. Guys? Guys? Oh, no! Oh, no! No, Mikey, no! No, Rocket, no, Atlas, that's not right. No! Yep. Say goodnight, Raquel. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up. No, Mikey, no, that's not right. Is that good slow-mo footage? And the tank ruptured. Yep.
Go and throttle up.
Oh no! That was the Atlas Centaur 5 launch. One of the engines decided to not engine shortly after liftoff, and the rocket they tried to do a SpaceX, tried to catch it with the launch pad. No, it didn't work. Yeah, no, that didn't work at all. Yeah, Alex, is that good enough? 50, 40, 30, pull up, pull up, pull up. That footage is nice, but I like this. Is this past missions? Oh, yeah. Well, he asked other than the space shuttle, but yeah. There's also this. I mean, if we're gonna go there, let me turn on the air conditioning, guys. It's getting a little hot in here. Here, ready? Watch the flames. Oh yeah. Nice and healthy. Look at how crisp that is. That shape is perfect. Nice and healthy. Now, why are the flames different than Proton? Different propellants, guys. Prepare for the drop. That's right, 31. Love that video. I love how on the Falcon 9 exhaust, the outer 8 engines acts as a nozzle extension for the center engine. Yep. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that center engine, the E9 engine actually receives a little bit of an efficiency gain. It's pretty cool. Is it that? Wait, is it that time? Is it that time for SpaceX montage videos? Is it? Are we ready? good, man. That's pretty good. Yup. Okay, well, we can look at it. No, I haven't gotten to it, and I was saving that for last. Okay, alright, we've montaged enough. Alright. Okay, alright. Anyway, there is a bunch of stuff, there's a bunch of other things that we have to talk about, but there's also this video here.
Controversy is ending with
No,
controversy.
Mikey, no, Mike, that was so not right.
Here comes
Oh, sorry, misclick. Sorry, I misclicked. That was my bad. Let me start moving links up. Sorry, guys. Sorry, it's never not gonna be funny. And I'm a piece of crap. I fully acknowledge it. I'm a piece of crap for thinking that's funny. Pretty sure it's Valtteri's fault. Okay, Court, let's see. Sample return testing. Okay. Parker Solar update. Oh. Alright. We got more videos to watch. We'll take a look. Let's see what we got.
3, 2,
1. Lift off. Wait, the proof is in the pudding.
Lift.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Mi scusi. You need to put that on the soundboard? I agree.
1, fire.
If there is a question that we don't know the answer to, we will test it.
Sequencer on. 5, 4,
3, 2.
1.
Cool.
Now that the Perseverance rover has started to collect the first samples, that has kicked off the Mars Sample Return mission.
The goal of Mars Sample Return is to pick up those samples from Mars and bring them back to Earth.
This mission has many crucial components involving many NASA centers as well as international partners. The tests we're running right now are just the first step in making this mission possible.
What this testbed is working to achieve is early prototype drop tests for the sample retrieval lander that's going to go pick up the rock samples on Mars. 3, 2, 1.
Them dampers, though.
After we've landed on Mars, the samples have been transferred into the Mars Ascent System.
We take the rocket and we actually throw it up in the air before we light it off.
It's an ambitious effort because we've never done this before.
Sequencer armed. 3, 2, 1, fire.
Cool.
This test that we just did goes a long way to showing that it's possible.
That this is the correct path to go down to have a successful launch on Mars.
Once the samples have left the surface of Mars, they will be captured by the Earth Return Orbiter, where they will be
How long since we've switched to space news?
safely contained so they can be brought back to Earth.
I don't know.
This particular tower is
20
designed
minutes.
to test out one of the last elements of Mars Sample Return, this impact landing on Earth.
3, 2, 1.
We get to demonstrate how strong these hardware elements are to prove that these samples can be brought back safely. So we
Cool.
design a system that can stay contained and keep these Mars materials separate from the Earth's biosphere. We're still in the development phase right now, and so we're still using these tests as a learning mechanism.
We need to know the information to make sure that we can make a mission on another planet work.
In order to accomplish goals such as bringing samples back from Mars, you have to sometimes dare mighty things.
Cool. That's pretty sweet. My favorite part of that was the drop footage that they did. This thing, man, did they get the damper rates right or what?
Type drop tests for the sample retrieval lander that's going to go pick up the rock samples.
You see how it just stopped? They looks like they're using I would guess a pneumatic damper right there, because you can't really hydraulic. Well, no, hydraulics would work on Mars. Interesting. Somehow I think I missed my dream job. Still, you can still do it. Hey, Stormy. Hydraulic, yeah. Yeah, so there's hydraulic press.
3, 2, 1.
After we...
That's cool. Hey, Chris. All right, let's see. Well, Jack Fliff, why have a crush core when you have a huge damper? Look at the size of the damper on this thing. Now, it's a damper, not a dampener. A dampener would mean you put water on it. That's a damper. Look at the rate that the damper moves. I'm not sure this thing has a crush core in it, dude.
The lander that's going to go pick up the rock samples on Mars. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool, man. Yeah, see, they're taking points of sample from the vehicle versus the travel of the arm. See, that's what these sample points are for. Yeah, dude, that's really cool. See how it just stops?
That's gonna go pick up the rock samples on Mars. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's so legit, dude.
We've landed on Mars. The samples have been transferred into the Mars Ascent System.
We take the rocket and we actually throw it up in the air before we light it off.
It's an ambitious effort because we've never done this before.
Sequencer armed. 3, 2, 1, fire.
Cool. Is that a tube? Are they going to shoot it out of this tube? Yeah, Gibbs, I'm with you on that one. You're gonna shoot it out this tube. Wait, chat, are you telling me that NASA got a bunch of aluminum tubes? NASA bought aluminum tubes! Do I have to tell you what the frick you can do with an aluminum tube? Aluminum! They got these Mars sample return. They got it wrapped up in this special Mars sample return napkin. Can you give me an idea of the benefit of launching it by throwing it in the air? Not damaging the vehicle that it left, most likely. You don't want to fire it's not a launch pad, it's a lander, right? Let's see, it's a series of tubes, Dish. It's like a big truck. It's like a big truck. I know what you can do. I know what you can do with aluminum tubes. Thank you very much. Yes. It's not a spin launch, no. Guys, they probably eject the tube like that so they don't damage the vehicle that loaded up the samples. You gotta remember, there's a lot of sensitive equipment on the launcher, on the launch vehicle, the lander, right? This thing. They probably throw it up in the air because my guess is that this thing, they'd want to keep using it. So they probably yeet it away from this so they don't damage this thing. I'm going to guess it's going to be solid, Bandit. I would use solid. Why would you use hypergol? You're running the risk of leaking. You don't want to do that. No, I would use solids, to be honest with you. We're getting to it, Hypersonic. How's the progress? Here, I'll give you a little preview. This picture's coming from Boca Chica Gal. How's that for progress? How's that for progress, boy? Tastes good. Thoughts on the rusty engines? They'll be fine. Alex, it's most likely not the engine nozzle that's rusting. It's most likely the stuff that's on the engine nozzle, that anti-coking solution that they put on there. I'll bet you that's what the rusting is. I don't think it's the engines. Talk about a mint picture. Yeah. 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 Should we? Here. There's some update info on Parker Solar, and then we'll get into it. Here, check this out. Let's see what Parker Solar Probe's up to.
Liftoff of the mighty Delta IV Heavy rocket.
In August 2018 in Cape Canaveral, Florida, NASA launched Parker Solar Probe to touch the sun. After spending a few years
sometime next year,
closer to our star, the spacecraft has finally arrived.
It's amazing. Parker Solar Probe is touching the sun.
This is Noor Rawafi, the project scientist of the mission. He has been waiting for this moment since the beginning of his career.
This is a dream come true. One of the major goals for the Parker Solar Probe mission is to fly through the solar corona, and we are doing that now.
So what does it mean to touch the sun? To answer that, we need to look at the sun's structure. Unlike Earth, the sun doesn't have a solid surface. It's a giant ball of hot plasma that's held together by its own gravity. Solar material flows out from the surface, but around the sun, it's bound by the sun's gravity and magnetic field.
Cool.
This material forms the sun's atmosphere, the corona. Eventually, some of this hot and fast solar material escapes the pull of the sun and gushes out into space as solar wind.
Yep.
The boundary
Exhaust
that
plume.
marks the edge of the sun's atmosphere
Stormy.
is known as the Alfvén critical surface.
We didn't know exactly where this boundary was, but for the first time in history, a spacecraft has crossed it. Parker Solar Probe ventured into the corona, touching solar material still bound to the sun. The wispy corona is too faint to see most of the time, but it's revealed during total solar eclipses. For centuries, we've been studying the sun's atmosphere during eclipses because it's important for understanding how our star influences life in the solar system. But much about the corona remains a mystery.
Two of the most challenging scientific mysteries in astrophysics occur in a region that we call the solar corona.
The first mystery is about the temperature. The corona is about 300 times hotter than the photosphere, the visible surface of the sun below. Secondly, there's a constant stream of particles flowing from the sun known as the solar wind. It accelerates up to millions of miles per hour out of the corona, and we don't know how. Solar wind can disrupt our satellites and technology. To better protect them, we need to go where the solar wind starts, in the corona. So heading there has been a key goal of NASA's for a while. We first proposed the idea of sending a spacecraft to the sun in 1958. We didn't have the technology to withstand the journey until the 2000s. Since its launch in 2018, Parker has been heading towards our star. Then, in April 2021, during Parker's 8th orbit around the sun, the spacecraft was around 20 solar radii, or 8 million miles from the sun's surface.
That's really
when it
close.
crossed into the corona.
Wow.
This is a huge milestone. It took us over 6 decades to come to this point.
As Parker entered the corona, its whisper instrument took these images. Streams of plasma surrounded the spacecraft, and Parker's other instruments detected that the magnetic conditions had changed. Outside the corona, solar wind gushes out, pushing solar material away
at high speeds so that it can't return back to the sun's surface.
Inside the corona, the sun's magnetic field becomes much stronger. Solar material is slower and tethered to the sun. Instead of a smooth divide, Parker found that the boundary between these two sides is wrinkly. These bumpy ridges are created from huge flows of plasma traveling out of the corona. Scientists are not sure why this happens, but as Parker gets closer, we're finding more clues. Before entering the corona, Parker had seen kinks in the solar wind where it would momentarily double back on itself. Scientists called these features in the solar wind switchbacks, but no one knew how or where they formed. In 2021, the spacecraft finally tracked switchbacks to one of their origins. As Parker got even closer to the sun, it detected bursts of switchbacks. Scientists traced these bursts all the way to the visible surface of the sun.
Here we see distinct cells. As heat rises beneath, these convection cells churn and create funnels of magnetic energy above the surface.
Scientists found that switchbacks form inside these funnels before rising into the corona and beyond. This is only one piece of the switchbacks puzzle though. Exactly how they form is still unknown. Over the next few years, Parker will keep looking for clues as it explores our sun, the only star we can study up close. The sun is also the only star known to support life, so understanding it is critical as we search for life beyond our solar system.
That will link directly into the question, are we alone in this universe? And that is one of the biggest questions for humanity to answer.
Bruh. Well, I'm really happy we watched that. That's pretty wild. It looks like flame propagation, to be honest with you guys. Like a candle, picture a candle burning. And if you ever light a candle and then you blow the candle out, you see how the flames, how the smoke kind of propagates? It looks exactly like that, which is very strange. Huh. I mean, I suppose it's just the sun's just a big burning candle, I guess. I mean, it's not, but I blame magnets. Well, how do they work? Water, fire, air, and dirt. Frickin' magnets. How do they work? How do they work? Yeah, 2008 memes, I know. It's like magnetic field holding to the flame until it can't hold it anymore. That's weird, man. Trippy stuff. Trippy stuff. That's real cool, actually. I'm really happy we watched that, Core. Thanks for linking that one. I'm serious. That was really awesome to see. All right. So, there is a little bit more news here. I got some more stuff for you. So, we got a Starliner update here, dudes. Our team has decided to replace the current Starliner service module on the OFT-2 vehicle with a newer service module. Learn more here. All right, let's see what Boeing is up to. This is nerd stuff. You've been warned. Following extensive tests and analysis of oxidizer isolation valves on CST-100 Starliner's service module propulsion system, Boeing has decided to move up service modules currently in production for its upcoming uncrewed and crewed flight test to the International Space Station as part of NASA's Commercial Crew program. The service module originally planned for the CFT crew flight test will now be used for the orbital flight test mission, and the service module planned for the Starliner 1 flight will be used for the CFT. NASA has been working side by side with Boeing on the service module valve investigation, including leveraging the agency's materials and propellants expertise to better characterize the potential causes of the issue, said Steve Stitch, NASA's Commercial Crew Program Manager. Because of the combined work, we have a much better understanding of the contributors that led to these valve issues and ways to prevent it from happening in the future. Boeing remains diligent and driven by the data during its decision making, which is key to ensuring that the Starliner system is ready when we fly our test missions in 2022. Ongoing investigation efforts continue to continue to validate the most probable cause related to the oxidizer and moisture interactions. Can I read that again? Let me see. Ongoing investigation efforts continue to validate the most probable cause related to oxidizer and moisture interactions. NASA and Boeing will continue the analysis and testing of the initial service module on which the issue was identified leading up to the launch of the uncrewed OFT-2 mission in August of 2021. Our objective was to get back to flight safety as soon as possible. With this objective in mind, we set out on parallel paths, remediating valves to preserve the option of utilizing the existing service module, SM2, while also working to accelerate Sorry, Space News yawns. Working to accelerate the building of the next service module, SM4, said John Vollmer. Based on the results to date, we've decided to fly SM4 next and continue long-term tests with the SM2 hardware on the vehicle and in offline facilities. Teams conducted extensive analysis on the valves in Boeing's Commercial Crew and Cargo Processing Facility, or C3PF for short, NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, and outside laboratories. The analysis included testing samples of the corrosion using specialized micro-CT scans and borescopes to see inside the valves, exposing parts of the valves to various conditions, and removing and disassembling several valves. I am incredibly proud of the entire NASA and Boeing team for their creativity and technical excellence while working this investigation. Testing is continuing at NASA's White Sands Test Facility to expose valves to conditions similar to those that the spacecraft experienced inside the factory and at the Atlas V launch pad and Bandit, what are you doing? Oh, I know, fool. It's fine. My keyboard messed up. I'm so sorry. It's all good. I'll check that in a second, okay? Repost it just once. This team is now working through the next steps for removing and replacing the service module. The members of the combined team are consummate professionals who continue to safely and systematically troubleshoot the safe, wet propellant system. I'm very proud of their resolve. NASA, Boeing, ULA, and the Eastern Range continue to assess potential launch windows for OFT-2. As part of the standard process for requesting a launch slot at ULA's manifest in the first half of 2022, Boeing has agreed to an open window in May, pending spacecraft readiness and space station availability. Potential launch windows for CFT are under review. Interesting. I'll check that news in a moment, Bandit. Guys, let's see. So before everybody just dumps on Starliner because heard they were Boeing. All right, before we do that, let's just get that out of the way. Just shut up. Let's think about this for a second, okay? So they decided to replace the service module. Okay, them replacing the service module after doing a fault tree analysis of the situation tells me that whatever happened to SM2 was a one-off thing. It's something that none of the other modules experienced. I said this when they found the corrosion, right when they started the corrosion. There was no corrosion of valves on the OFT-1 flight in 2019. The service module, except for bad software, performed just fine. They had no problems with the valves. Simultaneously, the in-flight abort system was a service module. That one worked just fine, right? When they went to launch the OFT-2 mission, they had some problems with the valves. Now, that one, which is the same design, experienced different behavior. There were certain people in the spaceflight reporting industry, I should say, that speculated that, Boeing probably didn't take into account that it was too humid in Florida compared to White Sands, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because they were all made in Florida. Yeah. So, just before somebody brings that up, yeah, all the service modules were made in the same place, so, yeah. Go stick to amateur night, okay? That's not what happened here. Whatever happened to Service Module 2 is blatantly isolated to Service Module 2, meaning that it either got hit by we know that the Starliner capsule got hit by a pretty bad tropical storm while it was out on the pad, and also some of the handling conditions. This is a handling thing. Somebody must have dropped the pallet, so to speak. Something in the time between when that thing was made to when it made it to the pad, somebody did something that the thing wasn't designed to do in that time span. Now, where that happens, I don't know. But what I do know is if there was a problem with the service module design, they wouldn't just replace the service module and call it a day. That's not spaceflight. That's how you get someone killed. Oh, well, it didn't happen to this one, but it's happening on that one, so let's just send it. No. No. They wouldn't replace the service module unless they were absolutely 100% sure, at the very least, that what happened to service module 2, the rusty valves, was something that was independent to that exact service module. Understand? I don't think it's go fever so much, Alex. What I do think is that their processing flow got screwed up. Why did it get screwed up? No docking ports at the ISS. Starliner was ready in February of 2020. It was ready to fly again. But it waited. It waited 3 months with no one touching it. And look, I don't know a lot of things about aerospace engineering, but what I do know about mechanical things, right, is that any mechanical thing that you let sit is bad for it. A boat, a plane, a tank, a car. Take it from somebody that has cars that are sitting. That's not good for it. I can only imagine what the heck happened to that Starliner capsule from just sitting there. That is something that it is absolutely not designed to do. It's designed to sit there up in space, not sit there in the C-3PF. Now, does that mean that's what happened? Don't know. What I can tell you is this. Boeing, through their fault tree analysis, that makes it pretty damn clear to me that whatever happened to SM2 was a very isolated incident. It's not something that happened to the other service modules, and it's not something that happened to SM4. So, I'm pretty dang sure whatever happened to SM2 and that Starliner is the result of sitting there and doing nothing. Because think about it. Your processing flow changes. Why? Because it's just sitting there. There's no 3-month step process in Starliner's processing and handling of just it's sitting there doing nothing. Now, simultaneously at the same time, you think that Boeing would take that into account. But also at the same time, they have a bunch of service modules that were sitting in there before. Those didn't have any problems. So something happened with SM2 that was an isolated incident just to SM2. And I don't think Boeing really understands what exactly that was, but they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that it was something isolated to that particular Starliner capsule. Part of their fault tree analysis included taking those nitrogen tetroxide valves out of SM2 and replacing them with new ones. And guess what? The new ones rusted out too. So that tells me that there's something wrong upstream with the hypergolic pressurization system, because something is causing that to leak. And it's not the valves. The problem was never the valves. The valves are a symptom, right? The valves are a symptom of another problem upstream, which makes that fault tree analysis extremely difficult to figure out. It's like dominoes, man. You start one domino falls over, it knocks over 20, and then you see the 20th domino getting knocked over. You can't say that the 20th domino is the problem. No, that's a symptom of the other 19 frigging dominoes falling over. It's just like trying to fix a problem on a car. It's the same thing. It's just like driving a cab. Same thing. So this is a good thing, because this proves right here, if they're willing to just swap the service module out, swap SM2 out, which is the rusty one, and replace it with SM4, that tells me right off the bat that whatever happened to SM2 was an isolated incident, which means that there's nothing wrong with the service module design, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. That is, if they put SM4 up in there and they did the testing with the new service module and it rusted too, now you have corroborative data between SM2 and SM4. Now they're both doing the same thing. That's a bad result. That means the design is bad, because you replicated your results between two different conditions there. You know, you tested this one, it rusted. You tested this one, it didn't rust. So now you got to figure out what happened to SM2. But I think Boeing is pretty dang positive that whatever happened to SM2 is an isolated incident, which is a good thing. That's better for Starliner. That means we're going to see Starliner flying sooner rather than later. And the other thing, which is the big one, it's not a design problem either. It's something with handling. Somebody turned a screw in the wrong direction at some point. They got to figure out when that happened. Remember, the service module for OFT2 wasn't fueled until 30 days before launch, so if it's just sitting in storage since February, how would the service module develop nitric acid? You have to test it, and you have to pressurize it at some point, Forge. The first time you fill it up when it's ready to go to the mission isn't going to be the first time you fuel it. That's stupid. Don't you think they would go through tanking and detanking just to be sure? They got to practice it somehow. No, they probably had fueled it prior. It could be 1,000 different things, Tessa, but I'm pretty damn sure it's isolated to SM2. Boeing would not replace, they would not say that they're going to replace the service module and announce it so publicly unless they were absolutely sure. That's not something you screw around with, especially when it comes to something that you're going to put people on. No, they do testing with an inert gas. Forge, what are you trying to say? All right, let's just go down to brass tacks. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that it's a bad design because this testing, which NASA also agrees with, says that that's bullcrap? What are you trying to say? I don't understand. What are you getting at? Just say what your point is, so I can say that you're wrong because Boeing and NASA know more than you about spaceflight. So let's just finish this quick. Come on, say it. Let's go. Finish it quick. Come on, type it out so I can tell you you're wrong. It could also mean that if they made a design change to SM4, it was at the appropriate manufacturing flow to receive that change and make it to the pad the quickest. Yeah, but Novus, they said that they did it in parallel. They said that they started working on SM4 while they were doing fault tree analysis, which, I mean, still could be a thing. I mean, that's possible, Novus. That's true, but what you didn't see this with OFT1. The valves didn't work. The valves worked just fine on OFT1, and they worked fine on the in-flight abort. It tells me it's isolated, man. It has to be. Don't you think the other ones would have the same problem if they were all fueled in the exact same manner? I'm wrong. Wait, that makes you right. Yes. Yes. Dark mode. Kinamore, how are you? Hope everyone's having a good stream. Oh, thank you. I'm doing just fine. How are you? You have to test it at sometimes sad Apollo APS engine noises. Nice, Jack. So, yeah, guys, I think it's isolated. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's isolated. I think that tropical storm really screwed up something upstream in the hypergol system. Good, woke up from a third shift, decided to see you on. Well, yep, got plenty of stream left. Random question, but how come Falcon 9 still use the drone ship? Can't they land on the launch pad now? That they are reliable? It's not a matter of reliability, Pops, it's a matter of Delta V. Could you give a quick recap on what the issue is? The valves, the nitrogen tetroxide valves started rusting from the inside out, Dr. J. And they can't figure out why. But it didn't do that on any other service modules, which is strange. Yes, it's an isolated issue with the service module. They're pushing for SM4 now, meaning they brought upgrades to it, but they still didn't tell us what happened between fueling and the P, because I don't think they know yet. That's why it feels weird. They said they said they don't know. They said it's ongoing. NASA's been working side by side with Boeing on the service module valve investigation, including leveraging the agency's materials and propellants expertise to better characterize the potential causes of the issue. Because of the combined work, we have a much better understanding of the contributors that led to the valve issues. They still haven't figured it out yet. It's a weird one, Forge. That's about as weird of a problem as you can get. Possibly. It's tough to say with only SM1 going through its full processing flow. Could be that SM2 was exposed to a different environment than SM1. It could have been a decision made to incorporate a design change to accommodate that environment for future builds. Yeah, that's possible. I mean, yeah. But no, but them saying that the investigation is ongoing tells me that they know they've done enough fault tree analysis to know that it's isolated. Or, I mean, it could be parallel processing flow. They did say they were doing parallel. Yeah, I guess. If they don't know what stops the same issue from happening with SM4 at this time in space. It's not that they... I've said this like 4 times now, Fords. It's not that they don't know. It's that they don't know exactly what happened, but they can prove well enough that it's isolated to a certain service module. They've either already corrected it, figured out what's wrong, and changed it, or it was just an isolated incident. I'm thinking isolated, man. But I don't know. I mean, we don't know unless I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly if we didn't have the details. What I do know is that Boeing better be damn sure that they're confident enough that SM4 isn't going to do the same thing. Anyway, Better Rock, 4-month resub. Thank you very much. So, yeah, that's good that they're ready to go. I hope OFT2 goes off quite well. But yeah, I mean, I think them leaving that service module there was no good for it. Spaceflight hardware doesn't like sitting. It's not good for it. Either way, yeah, look at that thing. It's an absolute unit of a capsule right there. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Jado. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? Starliner has a window to fly in early to mid-February after Axiom 1. Them pushing the test flight to May is a bit worrying, to say the least. I think you're being biased towards Boeing, to be honest with you, Forge. You're letting fanboyism affect your judgment, dude. Look, this isn't just Boeing doing this analysis. It's NASA and Boeing. You think NASA would let them do that? After how colossally they screwed up? Not a chance. Never happened. Never happened. Never happened. It's false. It's fiction. We made it up. Total fabrication. False. Fiction. This one was invented by a writer. They fricked up hard during that OFT-1 mission. NASA's been up their tail with a microscope since. There's no freaking way. There's no way that they'd let them do this if there was any shred of a doubt, man. This one, we made it up. False. It's fiction. It's fiction. It's false.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
Not this time.
We created it. Not this time.
Not this
no.
time.
Not this time.
No.
It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication.
Total
It
fabrication.
never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened.
Never happened.
It's false.
It's false.
It never happened.
It's never happened.
It's a fake.
It's fiction.
It's fiction.
It's fake.
It's an urban legend that never happened. No way. We got you. Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Not this time.
Not
It
this
never
time.
happened.
It never happened.
It never happened.
Never
We
happened.
made this one up.
We made it up.
It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. Not this time.
It just keeps
Wrong.
going.
Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened.
Never happened. Fiction. Yeah, I suppose. We got you. It's false. It's fiction. We made it up. Oh boy, it's false. It's fiction. We made it up. It never happened. It's false. Fiction. We made it up. This one was invented by a writer. Hey, Forge, speaking of pictures that make you nervous, does this picture make anybody nervous? Could you link that, please? Sure, man.
It's false.
It's false.
No way.
No way.
Not this time.
Not this time.
We created it. Not this time. No.
No, not this time. Does that picture make you worried at all? Stop! Don't drop that thing. Don't drop it. Pray to God you don't drop that thing. Frickin' right. If you could just not do that with that would be great. It was 40 meters in the air. I command you to scream! Who the hell did this? Yo! Oh no! That's terrible, man. Who the hell? Why would you even Photoshop that? That's horrible. Why would you do this? No, Mikey, no. No, that is so messed up. No, Mikey, no. Millions? More like billions, dude. No, Mikey, no. It cannot end this way. It's called gravity, Toto, all right? Gravity. No! That's terrible. Why would someone do this? This isn't right. No. That's bad, man. Oh, God. That's so bad. The picture of it falling was a Photoshop, okay? Oh, man. So that's James Webb. James Webb is fueled up, basically ready to go. It should be ready for encapsulation, and then launch of the James Webb Space Telescope is about a week out on an Ariane 5 rocket launching out of the Kourou launch site in French Guiana. This is going to Earth-Sun L2, a Lagrangian point, which is a neutral point in gravity between, that's outside of the Earth, outside of Earth's orbit, but it's a neutral point in gravity between Earth and the Sun, and uses lunar precessional perturbations to stay in the orbit that it's in, which is freaking cool, man. You guys want to see the orbit? You guys want me to break your head? Watch this. Not literally. Watch this. Ready? Look at this. Also, funky music. No, Mikey. Space. The final frontier. Look at that. Oh! No, it's a sun shield, Reveril. So it can get a good picture. No, it's Earth Sun L2 kiosk, not Earth Moon. That's so damn cool. Oh, that's so dope. Soon. It's the orbit that frickin' blows my mind, dude. Look at that. Oh my god, that's so damn cool. Bro. So that's James Webb, guys. It's pretty dang cool. That thing has enough power to be able to see pretty much all the way to the Big Bang. Why? Because light travels over distance, right? So, and the universe is pretty much ever expanding. So if you point that thing in the right spot, you can see where the light that shined from the Big Bang is. And you should be able to see what the universe looked like right when the Big Bang happened. Which is pretty freaking cool, man. It's an infrared observatory, Karem. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Discovery, go and
It doesn't look in the visible spectra of light. It's an infrared, which is crazy. 380,000 years after the Big Bang, Jim. That's practically nothing on a cosmic scale, huh? That's pretty insane. We should make more of these. I've decided. We should make more of these. Yeah, Jim, I've decided we should make more of these, and, you know...
Discovery, go and throttle up.
James Webb Space Telescope interferometer. Yeah. You know what, Jim? You know what we should do? Screw it. Let's just build a space station where James Webb is and have a real astro observatory. Am I right? Am I right? Let's just do that. Yeah. Let's just do that. Yeah. Yeah, we want a real astro observatory. Let's do that. Let's just, you know, let's eliminate that whole million-mile bandwidth between humans and the hardware. You know, you don't do that here. Why don't we just, you know, let's just send some people out there with a starship, build a little base out by James Webb. You know, have a nice little campfire. Soviet 74-month resub. I feel like we need another Hubble so we get more of these amazing pictures. Infrared is great, but I want pictures too. Yep. LUVOIR is basically Webb XL, but in the visible light spectrum is coming up next. The Decadal Survey wants a large visible UV telescope next, and LUVOIR fits that description. That and Nancy Roman. Yeah. Nancy Roman I don't think is infrared, but yeah, Ian, I agree. Ian, the point is that I don't give a frick if it's a telescope or a space shuttle. Make more. I'm greedy, bro. Look at this mustache. I'm greedy. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Doesn't matter. I want more stuff in space. More satellites, better ingredients, better spaceship, Papa EJ. No. I've launched 40 telescopes in the last 30 days. That's what I want. Understand? Picking up what I'm laying down? That's what we need. Yeah, I know about that picture, Forge. Yep. Kessler syndrome. No. Out at L2, Earth Solar L2, there's nothing out there. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about orbital debris. People always ask for the market allowing something like Starship to fly. Could building a heavier Soviet-style orbital instrument that's huge and powerful be a solution for cheaper mission cost? I mean, maybe. Catch what I'm throwing? Yeah. Where's the Hubble at? Low Earth orbit. It's about, I don't know, 370 miles that way. Nice Mario stash. Let's go! I'm a warrior. I'm gonna win. I don't want to get sued. A few more pictures from integration. Well, don't mind if I do. May I partake? So, chat, tell me, honestly, does that picture stress you out a little bit? That's a pretty good Wario voice. Oh, well, thank you very much, my friend. That's not the only voice that I can do. Look at me. Dr. EJ, satellite owner. You need to believe. No, but I'm lying. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Don't drop that thing. Don't drop it. Pray to God you don't drop that thing. Dude, I just got the shakes. I'm like, oh my God, don't drop it, please. Yeah, we should launch that, Ian. We should launch like 40 of them. How many webs would fit in one starship? You could probably fit 2 in there, hardscape, but honestly, I would just 1 is fine. Do we have another one? Another integration picture? Nah. Oh dear. Yep, don't drop it, please. Look at the payload adapters. Zoom in. Alright, let me see. So this is encapsulation when they're putting it inside the PAF. Yowza. That's crazy, man. If it was dropped, would it be the most valuable thing ever destroyed by dropping? Yeah. What is that satellite? That's James Webb. Wake up, we got a satellite to integrate. Yeah, stop sleeping, man. Oof. Oof. Oh, that's I don't, yeah, those pictures do kind of. All right. So, I think we got 3 videos to watch for NASA spaceflight. Guys, we can, here, hang on. There is a couple of... There is a couple of things here that, did you cover the kiss, huh? What's that? Yeah, we had a whole thing on it right before you came in. So this story just dropped and it's damning. I don't want to talk about that, Amanda. No. Nah, I'm good, thank you. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. This is what I do want to talk about. Here. SpaceX is starting a program to take CO2 out of the atmosphere and turn it into rocket fuel. Cool. So it looks like they're getting the old gas well site up, and the gas well site is going to have a saboteur that takes CO2 out of the atmosphere and separates it into liquid oxygen and eventually liquid methane. If you put some, you throw some water in there real quick into that reaction, then you can make liquid methane and liquid oxygen, which is pretty cool. That could be a prototype for ISRU technology, in situ resource utilization. That could basically mean that SpaceX in the future could land a Starship on Mars that's basically a gas station. And inside of the payload bay, you have it doing this exact same thing because Mars has ice on it, which has water. And also, Mars does have a little bit of CO2 in its atmosphere, enough where it would make sense to make rocket fuel. So in the future, you might see a Starship gas station variant, which is actually pretty damn cool. Kind of like that, Electro, but kind of different. But anyway, here, let's go over here like this and watch. We got a couple of NASA spaceflight videos here. This is coming from our friends over at NASA Spaceflight. Go over there and follow their YouTube channel if you can. You subbing to their channel and supporting them over there allows me to keep doing what I'm doing over here. So make sure you go over there and support those guys, all right? They're good dudes, trust me. They don't bite. I don't think. No, not biters. Not biters. Okay, cool, sweet. This footage is taken by Mary with also Nick. Nick and Mary are their 2 full-time photographers that they got back there, and they document basically Starship's progress for NASA spaceflight, which is pretty damn cool. Maybe DOS? I don't think so. Maybe. No, probably not. I don't want to see that, Forge. Please stop. Please stop. Hey, RG. Do the bang. Bosse? So we got 3 videos to watch here. Okay, they're pouring concrete here at the loading site. Stop. Get some help. Scott Manley, fun fact of the day. James Webb only weighs about half a Hubble. Interesting. I'd like to share a project that you're working on. Sure. Optimo? Okay. How did they rip that concrete up? It's probably because the concrete that was poured there originally wasn't enough to hold the weight from the trucks. If I had to guess. That's just a guess, though. Can I post a link? Yeah, sure. Mons, can we get permit for RG? What are you posting? What project are you working on, buddy? Ferd. Thank you, mate. A space video game. Cool. Yeah, post it up. Let me see. Huh. Cool. Oh, that looks good thus far. Neat. Engineering fluid. Delicious. You can fly around the planet. Hey, we got another Felipe on our hands here. Cut it to RGV if you want to check the details on 20. The deets? Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Booster 4 is unhooked from the load spreader. SpaceX crane. Starship looks so small next to the booster. Yeah, indeed, right? You know what? This is just a picture of a crane lowering the load spreader, but I honestly don't care because I'm fascinated by how that whole thing works, so I'm just going to keep watching it. Alright, cool. Glad we cleared that up. So, okay. Yeah, just in case anybody's wondering. So, this right here is the main boom on the crane. And what holds up different parts of the crane, these things right here are actually not cables. They're just a metal rod with 2 hinges on the end. These are called pendants. Pendants are basically structural support for the crane. They hold stuff in place. It's not a cable. The cables are over here. The cables go up and up, and then they actually, depending on the design, actually go down. There's one of the cables, but it goes through a pulley to step it up so you can lift something with basically one cable. See the cable right there? Over here is called the hooks. I don't think I need to explain why it's called the hooks. And then that's the load spreader for 20. Basically what this does is it picks up on the anchor points that Starship is supposed to be caught by, and it picks it up via that by just with these steel sling cables right there. Yeah, they're called hooks. The crazy part about this, you see that hook over there? That hook is heavier than your car. Very much heavier than your car. The reason why it's so dang heavy is because it makes sense to put weights at the end of your line. Because if you think about it, if they just had a hook on the end of this pulley, right, with no counterweights, it would be really easy for the wind to just take it and flop it around all over the place. So they weigh down the hooks on purpose. See all the counterweight that they're running with this thing? There's 2 huge blocks of steel right there. They do that on purpose to make sure that the windage won't take the hooks if you're just moving it around like this. Strut to cubic, octag to strut. Basically, Bon, yeah. See, that's the point where they picked up on it with the load spreader right there. That's what it's supposed to land on. That little pin right there can hold the whole thing up, which is just all right. Is it true that SpaceX will be ruined because of the engines? No, Chungo. The way to look at that email, if you're unfamiliar with SpaceX, at face value, it sounds bad, but the way to... This is what Elon thinks, dude. He thinks like he's playing chess, dude. So he's thinking like 4 or 5 moves down the road. He's saying 4 or 5 moves down the road, he could possibly lose the game, right? He wants to safeguard against that, so it's better to be preemptive about that, right? That's all. That's basically it. That's all it is. So no, it's bullcrap. That's just the boss cracking the whip. That's Pretty standard for corporate stuff, man. Now, whether you like that or not, I don't know. All I can tell you is what's going on. Whether you like it or not, it's not really, like, alright. Some people probably be like, yeah, other people probably be like, no. I don't know. My job is to tell you what's going on. Now, I can tell you what's going on with this crane right here. And it's interesting. See these triangular things right here? These are the counterweights. Counterweights that are on the end of the house right here. This will give you a good indicator as to how heavy stuff is. Each one of these things with the triangle on it is like a slab of iron, right? It's a slab of cast iron. Each one of these triangles is 10,000 kilos or 22,000 pounds. So he's running symmetrical counterweights on this crane. So how much do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 100,000 kilograms or 220,000 pounds. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So he's running 150,000 kilos on each side of that. So that is about 600,000 pounds, give or take. 640,000 pounds, or close to 300 tons, 300 metric tons of counterweight. That should tell you exactly how much the heaviest thing that this crane is lifting is, because it's always going to be that and a little bit more with the counterweight. So that should give you a good indicator how heavy super heavy actually is. Hey, 104th Bullet, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. It is super heavy. All right. Is that the SpaceX Libra crane? Yeah, that's a Libra 11,000. Now, different parts of the crane right here. Once again, you have your main boom right here. Okay? And then over here, you have the mast. This is what controls the angle of the boom. You can change the angle of the boom with the mast. That's what these pulleys are here for. And then you have your main cable. That cable is your hook control. This is the one that's connected to the hooks at the very end of the crane that go up and down. Uncle Joke Bad! What's up, man? Thanks for the raid. What were you up to? Oh, see? Did you see he adjusted the mast there? Look. Watch right here. The guy pulled back and he adjusted the mast to get it out of the way. Watch over here. Stop. And then... oh, see? Oh, that's cool! That's sick. I'd love to know the cost of that crane. If you have to ask Alleviate, you probably can't afford it. KSP RSS run RP1. Oh man, good luck with that. And see, now he's lowering the main hooks right there. Now he's going to put that load spreader down. And then in this next shot, he's doing... yep, oh, it's the same shot. Yep, there we go. At least one. No, it costs $350, guys. $350, okay? It's black and white. It's the Loch Ness Monster, okay? It costs $350. So these type of lifts right here, these super long extension lifts, are used to service wind turbines. Wind turbines, most powerful rocket ever devised by man. Watch, she's gonna move the mast again. Ready? Yep. Oh, see, just very subtle. Move it forward, get out of the way. Are you planning to go over there for the orbital flight? Maybe, and then drop the hooks. Oh, move the mast forward again. See that? You see moving the mast forward? That's cool. Now this is a picture looking at the orbital launch pad. They put the hood and the disconnect system here. Right there, see this thing right here? That's the attachment point for Super Heavy. For where they fuel it up. They put commodities into it. That's what NASA calls it. They call them commodities. So liquid fuel, oxidizer, gaseous nitrogen, helium if you need it. And electrical connections and whatnot. Electricity isn't really, I don't think they call that a commodity. I think they just call that electricity. What model is it? The crane is a Libra 11,000. I'm sorry, EJ, but old Nessie costs a little more than $350. I disagree. I think that Loch Ness Monster costs $350. God dang Loch Ness Monster! I don't know what that hydraulic is for. That's hanging from a vehicle stabilization system that's attached to the chopsticks, which should pick up on Super Heavy when it lands. So like these things are facing down, right? They're facing down like this, and then they should fold up into position and grab Super Heavy, but I'm not sure how that all works. That honestly looks like a swing set to me, and I can't tell you how it works. I'm not really sure. I don't know why they would hang the hydraulic like that. That's very weird. This is a hydraulic actuator, but... Bro, look at the Heim joint. That Heim joint's the size of a baseball. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm sorry, I like the mechanics. That's really neat. So a Heim joint is basically, it's a ball joint, basically a hinge. There's a spherical bearing inside of this, right? So it looks like a loop on the end of a pole, like this, and inside of that loop, right there, is a spherical ball bearing, and that allows it to basically work and move in 3 axis. You need it when you're making something, you know, like they use this to make car suspension and stuff. But the Heim joints that they use for car suspension are about this big. That thing is about this big. It's about as big as my fist. Spurving bearings, yes. I mean, look at it compared to the dude's hand. That thing is huge, dude. Like grapefruit almost. And see, check this out. There was a good shot of the umbilical there. Look. This one has the pilot dowels too. See these things? They look like cones, right? It looks like this thing is going to automatically be able to dock and undock from Super Heavy. You have a soft capture mechanism, and then you have hooks like a hard capturing mechanism. SpaceX is trying to figure out ways to automatically reattach these umbilicals, which, yeah, rockets don't really do that right now. Umbilicals are usually attached by people, and then they let go when the rocket launches because they're usually on a counterweight that pulls the umbilical away from the rocket when it goes to launch. This thing doesn't have that. That's an automatic umbilical because it's set up like a docking port. You got pilot dowels here for soft capture, and then you got hooks for hard capture, which is nuts, dude. You have 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Which is absolutely insane. In a good way. In a good way. I love it. That's really cool. Yeah, non-reciprocation dingle arm. It reduces sinusoidal reclination. Hey, Rivian, what's up? Yeah, it is freaking cool, man. Just keep it classy during the day, my brother, you know. USB for rockets. It really is, Neon. I mean, that's light years ahead of its time. Oh, dude, that thing is so cool. And then see this is on a cantilever right here? This whole sheet, so the umbilical retracts, right? The silver plate goes this way. It retracts in, and then that whole sheet on the cantilever goes boom right in front of it. This thing will slam shut like a shuttle tail service mast umbilical, a TSMU. It'll slam shut like in a couple of seconds, which is insane. The closest thing I can think of, right? That will demonstrate what that does is from the shuttle's tail service mast umbilicals. Unfortunately, we have footage of that. Here.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
So check this out. Watch this footage. That's right, Alleviate. Clunk. That thing will shut about this quick. Now, if you don't have any bearing on how quick this actually is, okay? Hours, minutes, seconds. Tenths of a second. Hundredths or thousandths of a second. They skip hundredths. So this is 2102, 12 seconds. 21 tenths of a second. 30 thousandths of a second. Watch how fast this happens. So there's the shuttle right there. This is the MLP3. This is the T0 or T1 carrier umbilical assembly. Okay? So liquid oxygen. Watch this. Watch how quickly this thing slams shut. Slams shut. Sorry. 1/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second, 3/10 of a second, 4/10 of a second, 5/10 of a second, 6/10 of a second. 1 second has gone by. Clunk. 1.5 seconds, you had umbilical retraction and hood shut on the tail service mast. See that? Less than 2 seconds. That's what that thing is going to do. Exactly like that. You can see the shuttle starting to launch right there. But they want to shut this door before the business end of the shuttle meets this area here because you don't want to damage the umbilical. That's what it's going to look like. How many years was this ago? This was from STS-128, I think. Could be wrong. Can we get it in real time? I don't think even speeding up the YouTube video, Ian, is going to give you real time, but here, let's see. Nope, still not fast enough. Clunk. It could be 121, Cat King. It's somewhere later in the shuttle program, but look at how violent this actually is. So that's T0 carrier umbilical. That's the other side. Clunk. That thing is going to do that. It's going to be about that fast because let's be real. What's going to happen on the launch pad in this area here? It's going to get hot. Very, very hot. Very, very, very fast. Yeah, warm. Yeah. It's going to get warm right here. Not here or here so much, but right in this area here. You literally don't want to melt that thing. So this hood is going to clunk shut. See the cantilever? It's going to follow that, and it's going to go up and over. This thing's going to retract, and it's going to right in front of it. Super hot. It's going to get super hot up in there. Why black paint? Doesn't really matter for ground equipment. Black hides the burn damage. Man, I hope that's header paint, Foz, because that paint is going to get burned right the frick off. Yeah. Rockets are very toasty. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a problem that they have down in Florida. Stuff rusts, and rockets burn the paint off. They burn it right down to bare metal. Rockets are abrasive to pretty much everything. Concrete, paint, steel. It's like sandblasting it. Yeah, same energy. Actually, rockets have way more energy. Yeah. You should participate in Wallop's Trivia Night. I'll probably lose, dude, to be honest. That thing is so cool, man. The fact that guys, that's a big deal. The fact that SpaceX is working on automatic redocking and reintegrated docking ports is twofold cool. One, it's cool because they'll be able to basically, this should cut down on integration time very, very, very quickly. They should easily be able to reintegrate this thing, and the thing will just automatically click, dock, right back into position. Okay, fuel it up again. That's good for rapid turnaround. The second thing, I don't think I need to tell the people here that like space a lot why having a fueling umbilical that can automatically dock to another spacecraft might be a good idea, might be a good thing to have in space. Do you think they'll use those same ports for in-flight refueling? Yup. Yeah, yes, I do. I think at the very least, Game Coder, it's going to get them some understanding of what it takes to automatically dock fuel lines. Yeah, absolutely. These umbilicals are like no umbilicals I've ever seen. No umbilicals have a pilot dowel and a docking system and a soft and hard capture system. These umbilicals for Super Heavy have more in common with Dragon's docking port than they do with fueling umbilicals. They look exactly like them. It's got hooks and pilot dowels. Just like the pedals on Dragon. It's the same thing, but with a fueling umbilical. That looks more like a docking port to me than anything. But once again, it works twofold. At the very least, I don't think SpaceX might not use this exact design on a Starship in the future, but I'm sure they're going to learn something from it. Yeah, can you imagine spacecraft in-flight refueling? You guys, there's always footage floating around of like of in-flight refueling around and stuff, right? There's always footage floating around, like, and we've all seen this footage before. Like, oh my god. Oh, we gotta take this out here.
A boom operator is responsible for operating the air refueling system at the tail end of the aircraft.
Can you imagine?
What's known as the boom pod. So the Air Force needs in-flight
that's so
refueling
legit.
in order to extend how long other aircraft can remain on station. So we could be going anywhere from 200 to 315 knots, and you're using what's called a rotor control stick to fly this boom around, using its control surfaces, lining it up with the receiver's receptacle, and you're using your telescoping lever to reach out and make contact.
It's the same thing. Oh, that's
At
so
that point,
legit.
The pilots will flip some refueling pumps on, and then that's when gas is being released to the receiver. The whole time you're on your belly, you're talking to the receiver, you're also talking to your pilots, letting them know what's going on, keeping them in the loop, painting them a picture.
Dude, talk
Your
about a
job is
stressful
to
job.
not only offload the gas, but to keep everyone safe. Some of the different aircraft that we can refuel in flight include A-10s, B-1s, B-2s, C-17s, C-5s, F-16s, F-22s,
Stop it.
F-35s.
Stop it. Stop it.
I enjoy refueling
Nick.
F-22s a lot. They're pretty stable aircraft, and they look really cool. I was a medical logistics technician prior to this job. I always wanted to fly, and I was able to get onto an incentive flight to see firsthand what boom operators
I don't know
actually
what that
do.
means, Baz, but all right.
From that moment, I was sold. The training to become a boom operator is pretty
okay, I'll check it in a
extensive.
second.
A couple months of ground training. You also go through simulator training to get you prepared for what you would actually be seeing and doing in the aircraft. From there, you roll into flight training, and basically you tie in all your ground training under the supervision of an instructor.
That's cool, man.
Good set of skills to have if you want to be a boom operator. You definitely want to have a good head on your shoulders, be personable, willingness to learn. You can't be afraid to speak up. You are there to back your pilots up and let them know if you see anything, dumb, different, or dangerous. I'm a third set of eyes, so I might see a light come on that they didn't notice and bring it to their attention, or I might hear a radio call that was missed. The crew camaraderie, you're looking out for not only yourself, but you're looking out for your crew members. You're looking out for the receiver pilots. It's a crew effort, and we're all doing what we can to keep everybody safe. It's an amazing thing that we get to do. It's a front row seat to
Oh, I like what's going on in this picture.
see everything. I feel like I have the best job in the United States Air Force.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Aim high! That's cool, man. The booster quick disconnect is automated, yes, but bro, look at this check the third picture, alright? Why is that? Yeah, we probably shouldn't be looking at that. Bruh, so much freedom in one video. Nah, it's pretty cool. Why would they refuel the B2? The thing runs on element 150. No, shut up. Back to the NSF video. Nice, selfish. Nice. Fresh off the gravimetric press. Huh, nice. Man, look at that thing. It's crazy. I know, Diaz, doesn't it? It looks amazing. When is the next launch at Boca Chica? It's probably going to be sometime next year, if I had to guess. I'm thinking January or February. They're really waiting on the programmatic assessment to go through. Once the programmatic environmental assessment by the FAA goes through, we should be good. But we did take a step in the right direction the other day. SpaceX looks like they got FCC approval for the Starlink orbital launch, meaning that the Federal Communications Commission said that they're good to launch, meaning all the antennas are FCC compliant, which is a good step in the right direction. Once the PEA goes off, though, guys, that's when we're going to see. That's when we're going to see stuff getting crazy. You shaving it for later? Okay, man. No full SF yet, John. It's pretty beast mode, man. The rate at this thing coming together is insane. Also, I'd like to point out, dude, we got a Heim joint on the end of a gigantic hydraulic actuator here. I'm pretty dang confident that this hydraulic actuator is going to be for Starship's umbilical, which is going to do the same thing. It's going to go back and forth. See right there? You can see the way that it's going to move. Right there. The umbilical is over here right now, and I'm not sure how far that hydraulic goes, but that thing, once again, you have one of those Heim joints on the end, and I think it's going to hook up somewhere over here. I don't know, Hellfish. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the engines that are on there are should be pretty thoroughly understood. Oh, can you imagine? Cruise work on a cover attached to Ship 20. I mean, Hellfish, theoretically, they could lose half of them. They could lose 15 engines and it would still be enough thrust. Super Heavy is drastically over-engineered to take into account something like that, so who knows? There's an access hatch for 20 here. They're removed. They're putting the protective cover on. They're sealing up the maintenance hatch. That's the maintenance hatch for the to get inside of the methane tank. Notice that they put the hatch inside first, and then they're bolting it up from the inside. That's because the tank gets under pressure, and when it gets under pressure, having the hatch on the inside means it's pushing out, which means it'll seal. It'll seal against the outside skin of the ship, and actually will work basically like if there was no hatch there at all. I hope nobody's in there. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Why? Why? Hellfish. The Saturn V had 7.5 million pounds of thrust, or about 35 meganewtons of thrust at liftoff. This thing has 15 million pounds of thrust. That's insane. They could literally lose half of the engines and it'll still make it. That's on purpose, though. That's by design. There's Starship's umbilical there. That's more than 20 hamburgers. Oh, now I'm hungry, Alex. So look, Starship's umbilical is the same. It has pilot dowels in the form, I mean, those look like trailer hitches to me, but it also has the hooks. See the hooks for the docking port right there? It's crazy. Oh. Alex, do they really call a quarter pounder over there Royale with cheese? Is that true? They're trailer hitches, man. SLS quick tick is under eye, it's hard. S36 is not. High TWR saves fuel. It actually gives you more delta V, Granitas, if on your first stage, not so much on your second stage, but yeah. Pounds don't make sense, so we use names instead. And Royales were definitely a thing at some point. Not a fast food guy myself, though. Maybe it's because hydrogen is more of a pain to handle. It's possible. I've seen SLS's umbilicals many times. You can go see SLS umbilicals on the side of the space shuttle if you know where to look. What do they call a Whopper? Your mom? Boom! Roasted! Bruh! Bruh. Oh, nice, feta. Delicious. So this is SN 2021 right here. Bruh.
Bruh. My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff. We have to add the... No, Mikey, no. That is so not right. No, Roro, we're good. Interesting, Forge. I don't know, mate. I don't know, Jeff, has it? I must have missed that. How are you doing today? I'm alright, a little tired, didn't get a lot of sleep, but... When is that not the case, Gooch? No, Mikey, no. Toto screaming to Massey was funny as hell, right? Right? Here, I got you.
Controversy is ending with controversy.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
Roasted. Oh, I missed that. No, Mikey, no. That is so not right. Still fun. Mikey, no. I was messy to be fired. No, Mikey, no. You're so not right. No, Alleviate, I haven't seen that. That's crazy, though. Alex, we gotta stand here. Dude, I didn't see Toto slam a headset. Did you? I didn't see him slam a headset. That guy, dude, I've never seen Toto Wolff that pissed off. The guy was red in the face. He's straight up red in the face, dude. Oh. Yeah, a little quick disconnect there. Cool. I don't think he slammed the headset. I think he just calmly placed the headset down. So, we know that Toto's one of those guys that if he's really, really mad, don't go near him. Gets really quiet when he gets mad. Yeah, okay. All right. It's the ones that appear calm when they're in fact really pissed off. Those are the ones you should just be like, no. Okay. New quick disconnect for suborbital pad A. Ah, yeah, okay. I got you. Triton's like, I liked it. No, Mikey, that's so not right. Merck is pushing the lawsuit to the ICA. Oh my god. Yeah, Nag, well, hey. Guy likes to get down, dude. Yeah, Katra, I think I would. Yeah, Alex, right? It's so true. New ERCX render. Alright, well, we got a lot of NSF videos to get through, dudes, but, oh, I like that render. Roger, I'm pretty much with you on that. I'm not even a Hamilton or Mercedes fan, and I'm with you on that, dude. Is F1 always like that? No, Corsi, it's not always like that. That's what I've been trying to say. People have been just writing off my stupid rants about Formula 1 this entire season is wrong. Well, look what happened. No, it's so not right. Yeah, you got it, Gooch. Just our duty, you know what I'm saying? Primo wasn't feeling too good over the weekend, so I had to look after her too. So, hey, just part of the game, man. No, I didn't, Kinder, but now I kind of want to. All right, we got some bulkheads here. Nice crane. Crane isn't doing anything. Crane's sleeping right now. Should be alright, Tessa. Yeah, everything's good. Feeling better today. I require drunk Toto videos. Oh, you heard her. That's what Primo needs to feel better. What would be the best decision in that? Red flag the race, robot. Yeah. Red flag it. Red flag it. Lap cars can pass. Give them 4 laps of sprinting. Use 1 lap to get the pack sorted. 4 laps, shoot it out. Sprint race. Whoever wins, wins. That was the right move. That's not what happened. Spoiler alert. That's not what happened. It never happened. It's false. It's fiction. We made it up. This one was invented by a writer. Netflix. It's false. It's fiction. Total fabrication. It's false. We made it up. It's fiction. Nope. We gotcha. Hey, weather guy, what's going on, man? Oh, dude. 21 is all but ready to go. Does this thing have the aft flaps on it yet? Nope. No aft flaps. Not yet. Close, but not yet. Oh, hey, Aero Surface. Just being moved around on a forklift. That's fine. Sure, why not? Those are how they clip the tiles on. No, Mikey, no, it's not right. That's parts to a spaceship, dudes. I thought, you know, I just want to point that out. That's literally spaceship parts being trucked around in a field. Also, that, I mean, can we appreciate that that pallet's made out of oak? Seriously, look at that, it's oak. Look at the bottom. Oak pallet, very nice. Yeah, see, look at that. That's definitely oak. Very nice. Yo, that pallet's probably really expensive. That's a wide pallet. Bump, 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 bump. All right. That could have been marine plywood. It could have been marine plywood. I'm not sure. All right, we got, that was the one we just saw. Let's go over to this one. We got 2 more videos, this one included. So this and another one. Another one. Another one. Wait, set. Another one. Chat, please, I asked for drunk Toto vids and it's been 2 minutes and they haven't been provided. I'm disappointed. Chat, does anybody have links to the videos of Toto crowd surfing? Anybody have a link to that for Brimo? For science? She needs it. No, she lives there, Sun Temple. Mary lives there. Alex, this is it? Here, okay. Bro. What the frick is going on here? That's one way to get down, I guess. Yep. Forklift. What's up, Predominant? How are you? Oh, dude. What do we got here? What do we Yeah, it's definitely argon gas. You could tell it's argon because of the way it is. You know what? That's pretty neat. You drive the mini versions of those lulls? Nice, nice. This was post Abu Dhabi. Hey man, all that stress from the Formula 1 season, you gotta have a relief valve somehow. Argon, 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 argon. Yeah, it's used for welding, guys. That's a purging gas to shield the weld from contaminants in the atmosphere. Duh, yeah, he's trolling. What fun. Yeah, it was, Remo. That was this weekend. Forklift. So that's a bulkhead that separates fuel tanks. Actually, that's the top bulkhead. That's the top of the methane tank, I think. On a new Starship. No, Brimo, no. That's so not right. No, Brimo, no. Brimo, that's so not right. Who wants me to see last? What's up, Dr. J? If they clip on, how do they stop the tiles from falling off as the pegs take re-entry damage? They don't take re-entry damage. The tiles keep them shielded, and the stainless steel will absorb most of the heat. That's so not right. No, Brimo, no, no. Well, the tiles are clipped onto it, Dr. J. They're clipped on. No, they don't stick through the tiles, dude. No. It clips onto the back. It's like how you don't see a clip in a clip-on tie. Think about it like that. No, guys, the tape that's on the tiles right there, these tiles are glued, and the painter's tape is just to hold them in place while the glue adheres. That's all. Now, why are certain tiles glued over others? Don't know. Probably has something to do with thermal, because they're tiles. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know. Some show on Sci-Fi, Tessa. I forget the name of it. Toto talking to Arnold. Why would I do that? It would just sound like someone talking to himself. Yeah, it'd sound like someone talking to himself. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. We're friends now because we're both from the same part of Austria with the same accent. Yeah. Is that good enough for you, Bon? Yeah. Why are some of the tiles attached with honey? Are they bee testing? Last for total goodness. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Nice. That's cool.
Like war planning. We set our targets, develop the power unit, and then deploy it on the field. We are confident about what we're able to achieve, but we must not let one bit of complacency creep in. I need many fellow warriors on my journey. We win and we lose together. Just take it one by one. Let's crush them.
Let's crush them. Yeah! Stomp them into submission. No, Mikey, no. Not one bit of complacent. Not one bit. No, EJ, no, that's so not right. Oh, there it is, Hellfish. I was waiting for it. If we kick the door in, who knows what kind of maggots we're going to find in Christian Horner's trailer. Forge. Don't say that in here. That's not funny. That's not funny. Jesus Christ. It's not funny at all. No, Forge, no. That is so not right. I'm trying to watch a damn Starship video, man. Jesus. Oh, okay. Fudge, that is so not right. No. Sun Temple. I talked with the stewards. We went for pudding and then they do this. I tell you, that's so not right. You can tell there's compressed nitrogen in that thing, in that trailer, because of the way it is. I don't think there's anything in it. The trailer's just sitting there. James Webb just got pushed 2 days. Source me, Ryan. Bring me the sauce, boy. The launch of the James Webb Space Telescope atop the Ariane 5 rocket from French Guiana is being delayed from the 22nd to the 24th because of an issue seen during the electrical interference. No, NASA, no, that's so not right. That's crazy, weather guy. Yeah, that's Bill Harwood, guys, from CBS News. Bill, I believe him. Yeah. Can't they just do it on the 27th or something, man? NASA posted it as well. Better be in the morning, guys, or I'm getting on a plane that day. Look at that, dudes. No, Bill, no. That's Billy, no. Billy, no. That's so not right. Run. Go. Get to the chopper. Check that out, huh? Here we see the majestic grain sorter moving across the plains. Holy crap. It's on a self-propelled modular transporter, Sun Temple, or an SPMT for short. Oh, hi, Max. Oh, somebody dropped the pipe. Astra got them moves too. No, Bon, no. That's so messed up. No. No, Bonnie, no. That's so messed up. That is not right. You must watch this, please. Why?
Yep. Congratulations to Max and to Rebel for a great victory.
3, 2, 1.
It's protection from the landing site. The landing site's technically over here. What's venting?
The orbital launch count 20 seconds. The orbital launch count 3, 2, 1. Orbital launch count 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, Jim. Freaking Christmas Eve, man. Bird.
Again, loud venting at the orbital fluid bunker, 20 seconds. Orbital fluid bunker at NC 1300, 3, 2, 1.
They're getting this pad ready to go, guys. The next NSF video that we see after this is going to be pretty cool. Looks like it's net 24th with an update expected no later than 12/17. They better not launch on Christmas Eve, Novus. I'm going to be on a plane that day. If they launch that day, I'm going to be pretty pissed off. Were they cleaning the lines there? They were testing the valves, Shex. Yeah. So long story short, yes, it could be purge venting. They could be just testing the blowout valves, the check valves, making sure those work, or they could be testing the pad. They could be testing the spin up on the pad. You don't know. It could be a bunch of things. I couldn't really see what was going on. I couldn't see what was venting, so someone's working with a grinder up there. No, Aryan Space. No, that is so not right. Yeah, dude, how about those lights on the pad? That's pretty freaking cool. Is that Ernok? Underrated comment. Oh, I fixed Tough Enough, by the way. Yeah. I didn't have time to stream it, guys, but we fixed it. We bled the clutch, and the clutch started working again, so I got that going for me, which is nice. I was driving it around yesterday. Just ran low on fluid, and everything is A-okay. Ernest's like, yeah, I wish that was me. Foggy tower shot. Oh, in wave format hired. Really? Thank you, hired.
No, thinking, no, Mike, that was so not right.
Thank you. I'm gonna be using that. I'm gonna be using that one. No, Mikey, no! What are you doing? No, Mercedes got basically Mercedes got penalized on the last lap of the last race on the season with the championship on the line and lost over a butt kiss penalty. Yeah. So that was their team principal, promptly telling the referees that they are stupid. Yeah. No, Mikey, that was so not right. They got hosed on the last lap of the last race with the championship on the line. It's so bad. He got glocked. Yep. Is that Gotifi? The memes. If anything, the memes are great. The memes make me happy. Thanks, Metroid. Thank you for the bits, man. Oh, was it the right call? No. No, it was not. No, it wasn't. John, let me put it to you in football terms. This was the equivalent of, a team being down by a touchdown and doing a 2-minute drill, and then halfway through the drive, they get to 3rd and 10 or 4th and 10, and they throw a pass, and the referees call pass interference on the defense, and then they put it in the end zone and win. That's the equivalent of this. Like, you remember that game where the Pack was playing the Lions and Rodgers chucked that ball into the end zone and some guy just miraculously caught it? Yeah, like that. Only, with a flag. Like, add a flag into that. But yeah, it was a miraculous victory from Red Bull. It was bad, dude. It was bad. Mercedes got dogged pretty hard. Wrong call, but in a good way.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey, thanks for the bits, Predominant. I appreciate it. It's so bad. But that's good. That makes up for it. Yeah, I saw that, T-Man. Yep. Yeah, Jay, for sure. Yeah, Nagwell, they got a... Team principal shouldn't be allowed to talk to the stewards. It's pretty stupid. Of course they did, Forge. Man. You know what? I'm really happy that I'm a Ferrari fan right now because I don't have to deal with anything. I'm just happy that Saints got on the podium, baby. Saints got on the podium, son. Boom. What's that, Swishio? Yeah, net Christmas Eve. You gotta be kidding me. Bone Sister, I didn't want to be left out. Alright, man. Hey, thank you. I'm just glad I'm not a sports fan. I don't really have to deal with anything. I know, Entropy, right? Isn't it crazy? It's made out of the same material, too. Look at that. Oh, my God. She's floating. Predominant again? Yeah, Guinea, Mercedes should have pitted Lewis. They should have pitted Lewis. First time you missed it. Second time, dude, you screwed up. You might as well be just to be safe, dude. I mean, that's Mercedes screwed up. They screwed that up bad. Just personal opinion. Oh. Oh my gosh. Look at that thing. 50 meganewtons of thrust from that sucker. 15 million pounds of thrust. And that's not even the most powerful one. Hands up. Sorry. Thank you for the bits, everybody. I appreciate it. Predominant Bone Sister. Thank you, guys. I'm just going to keep my hands up here. Predominant again? Yo, you think that guy's having a good time? Look at the smile on that guy's face. He's like, I like this. Oh my goodness. Oh. Holy shnikes. Merry Christmas. Thanks, Phone Sister. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Shut up, Mipoko. I'm not. It's not like that at all. It is like that, isn't it? Hey, you don't look up the business end of a rocket engine. You can look at it from the side. That's okay. You don't look up the skirt. That's messed up. and you'll end up in jail. In both scenarios. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's bad. Yeah, green-white checkers is something that NASCAR races do, Burnt Nacho. NASCAR races cannot end under a yellow. It extends the race by 5 laps. Maybe Formula 1 could take a little bit of a hint from NASCAR. I know. Everybody that's European just went, no. But also, it's a good idea. You'd have to bring back refueling. Oh, you can't. That's right. You can't extend races. Whammy. Shrieks in turn. No! Shrieks in right-hand turn. No! Yeah, Hellfish, we've seen it, right? It's crazy. Yeah, Belgium 90. I remember that. Yeah, the big one. Yeah, that's the same race when where Schumacher almost beat the trash out of who was it? Coulthard, I think. Yeah, F1 doesn't refuel, that's right. Maybe they should allow refueling if they go under green-white checkers. Ilya Privet. Mr. Yeah, I'm Mr. Yeah, we'll go with Mr. Okay, that's fine. No, Mikey, no, that's so not right. Yeah, Hellfish. Primo asked for it earlier, and I looked at it, dude. Guess he's not too upset, right? Yeah. Yeah, John, no refueling in Formula 1. In fact, if you don't have a little bit of fuel left over, yeah, you get penalized for it. Because F1, if you don't have your shirt tucked in correctly, they'll probably find a way to penalize you for it. Max Verstappen last race, John, had a penalty because he got penalized because he didn't serve another penalty correctly. He got penalized for being penalized. Yeah. F1. Nice, Phone Sister. That's amazing. Yeah, that's right, Guinea. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, Swishio, I was giving the metric and imperial thrust output numbers so people can understand. Not everything's metric. I know you as a European wishes it was that way, but sorry, it's not. Yeah, Noctis, hey, it's part of the sport, man. You live and die by the sword. Toto isn't too upset about it, so I wouldn't. How big are the tanks on the F1 cars? They're pretty big. Yeah, Tessa, yeah, right. Yeah, Marrakesh, I remember that, yeah. You gotta keep your stupid pound force units or whatever. Alright. Yeah, typical European, wanting everybody to be like them. I know. You guys went through that whole colonial era. This is just another manifestation of that. That's fine. It's okay. We get it. Not buying it, but we get it. You can't say 15,000 Newton is 15,000 pounds. I didn't. Yeah, go back in the VOD. I didn't. So, I said 50 meganewtons of thrust. Or 15 million pounds of thrust. 50, not 15. You heard wrong. Clean the poop out of your ears. You have caca in the testa. Caca testa. Boom. Sorry, my bad then. It's all good, man. I just wanted to find an excuse to say poop head in Italian. Because I know how to say that. Has there ever been refueling done on orbit? Only with hypergalls. Yeah, not with cryogenic propellants, dude. No, your numbers are so not right. That's fine, Alex, if you want to play on easy mode. Whatever. You guys prefer a lower difficulty setting, alright? You guys don't choose the hardcore measurement options. It's fine. It's okay. I get it. You You guys play on easy. We play on legendary. All right. It's fine. You can just take your easy system and go play in the sandbox. How would you like to be the crane operator? Nah, I'm good. The real question is why no one uses Kelvin. Why do you think they cut a hole in the bottom cover for the engines instead of just moving the entire ring up to cover the thing? It's probably something to do with heating cold. I think that's a thermal barrier to keep the turbine machinery from those engines, from the heat from the rocket motors. It's not the first time you've seen it's not the first time we've seen weird skirts like that. Saturn V on the second stage had something exactly like that. Literally a heat shield on the back of the rocket to make sure that the heat from the rocket engines don't heat up the turbine machinery, because the turbine machinery is really cold because it's cryogenic propellants, right? And this part down here, the nozzle is extremely hot. I think that's just a thermal barrier, to be honest with you. That's why it's like cut halfway through. Yeah, I know, John. I don't know what... Hey, it's all right. Enjoy your godless measuring system. What's your predictions for 2022? Ferrari. This is the year we bring it back. Hardcore measure. It's higher difficulty setting, all right? Hey, I can dream. Shut up. Copium, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. It's not. I'm not. I'm not taking hits of copium. You shut your face. It's not true. I can dream, all right? Don't. Hey, Sainz got on the podium, baby. He was third. That's points. It's podium. That's fine. It's hopium. Shut up. Shut up. I like Sainz, man. My favorite driver retired on Sunday, so I don't know. I don't know who to like. I think I'll go with Sainz. I like Sainz. He did really well. Gabe, we don't talk about that, okay? Lando? Strimmer? Brimo likes Lando. You guys play on unnecessary and then lose a Martian satellite. Yeah, that's your fault, dude. The rocket that launched it was Imperial. That's your fault. Sorry. The smooth operator. That's right. Checo. I've always liked Perez. I'm glad that Perez is finally getting his due with Red Bull. George streams. Yeah, Latifi streams too. Latifi streams. George streams. Leclerc does. Lando. They all stream, which is actually really cool. Maybe if there's ever another TwitchCon, or when TwitchCon happens, maybe they'll show up. Maybe I'll just go and hang with them in the partner lounge. No, Green, but that's amazing. Latifi used to stream. Yeah, that's right. Translate this. It's on Lando's car for 2022. Say thanks to Latifi. Yeah, I think that's what happens. I think they'll use it to stack Starship, Killer Alpine. They do not have a crane that's tall enough to put Starship on top of that thing. They stacked it last time, Killer Alpine, without the tower. Yes. But they were using a much bigger crane last time than what they have now. So my guess is that they'll use the tower for Starship, but they use the crane for Super Heavy. That is a big boy drill. Look at that thing. Oh, the drill bit spinning around in the chuck. What are you doing? No, start the drill before you put it in the hole. Bro, There you go. What are you doing? You don't put the drill in the hole and then start it. The drill gets caught and then you start spinning the chuck on the bit. Come on, man. You figured it out. It's not rocket science. You shut up. Oops, I broke the bit. Lavi, they better push it to after Christmas. That's all I'm saying. Because if they launch it on Christmas Eve, I'm going to be a little pissed. I'm literally on a plane that day. Yeah. Not cool. Not cool. Just wait till after Christmas, please. What was he drilling? He was boring out a hole on that flange. I don't know what that was for. Where are you headed on Christmas Eve? Detroit? We are going to Detroit. That's a lightning rod. That dude was installing the cap. There you go. What kind of plane? One that flies? I don't know. Maybe bring your laptop just in case. Oh boy, business on Christmas Eve, Bandit. That's great. But yeah, I got you. Hey, Snake, you finally done with finals? Cool. If it's in the early morning, we might be okay. Going Hawaii for the Crimbo? Tessa, don't you remember the Crimbo didn't you with the Bloody Scotsman? You're not going to take Tough Enough to Detroit? We got plane tickets already, Jim. But if that doesn't pan out, then yeah, we might. It's already made that drive. I know it'll make that. James Webb got delayed because of an electrical anomaly, guys. So current no earlier than is on the 24th, which is... Who thought that was a good idea? Like, let's just be real. Who thought that was a good idea? No, PY, no. That's so not right. So, March then. It's probably Mikey. Can we just blame Mike Massey? He's just... That guy gets blamed more than Yarg does. It's ridiculous. No, NASA, no. No, PY, that's so not right. No, Mikey, no.
No, Frankie, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
Is it Yarg's fault or is it Massey's fault? I heard that Yarg set that net. Dude, if it was Yarg and Massey's fault at the same time, the universe would explode. Not implode, explode. It'd be terrible. Yarg is Massey? Wait. Yarg is Mother of God. Oh no! No, Yargnit, no! That is so not right! I blame you. It's not my fault. They do sound similar. Oh, Tessa, stop it. That's why Yarg's never here anymore. Wait, was he here on Saturday night? He wasn't. So check that out right there. That's the catch pin for Starship right there. See it? Those nose cone tiles look off to you? I mean, there's a little bit of weird overlap here and there, and these ones are glued. Look, but they shimmed them, see? Shimmed them? Damn near killed them. Your favorite word is... Bruh. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I gotcha. Oh, man. Dude, that looks really nice. Catch pin, what did I miss? What did I miss? Swishio, they want to catch Starship with the chopsticks, too. Yeah. Bruh. PY, I know what that says. Bruh. Bruh. Bird. Bird. Yeah, what? No, Mikey, no, that's so not right. It is. It's so screwed up, dude. We want a motor race. What? Oh my god. Why do the nose tiles look so different from the rest? They're glued. 95. They glued those tiles on shuttle style. 9999. Are they going to fill that space between the tiles? The tiles will expand to fill the space. That's why they're shimmed out, Illusion. Yeah, that's why they have that little gap there. Because when Starship's going to go through re-entry, it'll heat up the whole thing. The whole thing will expand and the tiles will butt up. If you put the tiles, if you shim them too close and you go through re-entry, they'll expand and they'll pop off. Yeah. They figured that one out when they tested the shuttle's tiles. The tape is there to hold on glued tile. Holy crap, that's a big sub-assembly. Holy balls, that thing is huge, dude. $20 will launch on Booster 4, John. Wow. Wide bay. That's right. No, I didn't, Swishio. Didn't get around to it, dude. It got lost in my links, dude. I get linked thousands of videos a day. I try to watch them all. Just couldn't get to it, but... Yeah, they're not cutting corners. They're adding corners. Yeah, see? Holy crap, that is a big piece of equipment. I'm out. Time for Jeopardy. I'll take good things to leave the stream for 500, Mad. What is Jeopardy? You are right. Nice, Lavi. Nope, drop that, sorry. Damn. Damn. Yeah, pretty much, Trader. You have to take into account thermal expansion. The SR-71's fuel tanks did that too. That's why it leaked fuel when it was flying down the runway. Holy crap, look at that. Dang, boy, it's thick, boy. That's a thick boy. Dang. 95. Nice. Sometimes I also leak fuel. No, that's waste. Don't get confused. Hey.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
That's pretty good. Nice shot, Nick. It is an honor to be in your presence. Thank you, Market. Destination in sight, indeed. You should put a couple telescopes on that thing, Jim. I think that's a good idea. So, Super Heavy is on the pad, dudes. Yo, SpaceX wants to send it. They want to send it, baby. Any updates on the static fire leak? Nah, I haven't heard anything about that. Time to start testing the quick disconnects. I believe they're going to do umbilical fit checks, pad fit checks, maybe tanking systems. You'd probably want to test that, John, right? Yeah, I think they're going to do a bunch of tests with Super Heavy on there. Who launches first, James Webb or Starship Super Heavy? I think James Webb at this point, but that's subject to change. Will they use a mass simulator when they test launch to orbit? Nah, probably not going to launch with anything Alleviate. The first thing that you'd want to test for the reentry systems is testing without any payload in it, because that's what... Think about a lot of the early Starship launches. You think that it's going to bring down much? Nah, you don't need to test down mass capability until later. They might have some kind of mass simulator in there, but yeah, I think by and large, we're all right. By and large, I think it'll be empty. Oh, man. Yeah, well, Lavi, developing the most complicated launch vehicle in existence takes some time, turns out. Nobody is impervious to aerospace scheduling. Wheel of cheese. Yep. Yep, indeed. Mom, Elon's crap posting on Twitter again. Yeah, Roger, it's gonna take some time, but Starlink is gonna be how they validate the missions. Indeed. Yeah, see, what are you doing? Bro, that's amateur, man. Come on. Tips for getting an accurate aerospace schedule. Original estimate by Pi and at a few months. Duh. Akin's laws of spacecraft design, Lavi. This is true to anybody in the aerospace industry, even SpaceX. Let's see, where is it? I like rule number 19 personally. Let's see. Number 29. There we go. Yep. Von Tiesenhausen's Law of Program Management. To get an accurate estimate of final program requirements, multiply the initial time estimates by pi and slide the decimal point on cost estimates one place to the right. It's true with anything. Gotta spend money. I like number 26. Don't do nothing dumb. The last one is the most important. Space is a completely unforgiving environment. If you screw up the engineering, somebody dies. There's no partial credit because most of the analysis was right. Yep, 39. Yep, no new launch vehicles. Whatever you do, don't develop any new launch vehicles. That's what I mean, man. You can't be unwavering with this. Can't be. It's not a good idea. It's false. It's fiction. We made it up. Any exploration program which just happens to include a new launch vehicle is a de facto launch vehicle program. Can we get the link to this? Absolutely, man. Akin's laws of spacecraft design. Kerbal rules to live by. And real life, too. I really hope that they take this to Hubble and service it. Launch the crew out on a Dragon. Yeah, they could do that. Remember those for mission mode. You guys are the one that wanted to make a new launch vehicle, you dopes. That was your fault. Not mine. I can fly and pilot. Alright. I think that's all the space news, dudes. I think we're good to go. For the record, I voted against it. Oh, throw your fellow chatmates under the bus? That's, yeah, alright. That's messed up. No, Badger, no. That is so not right. Will there be Kerbal today? Probably not. I want to finish messing around with Satisfactory Ewok, if you don't mind. What's the status of KSP? I feel like it's been a while. It has been a while. I haven't played it. It's on hiatus right now. Don't worry, it's just temporary. I'm just variety streaming and get everything else out of my system. But they did release a new patch for Kerbal, and I will check it out sometime this week. Supposedly robotic drift is fixed. Supposedly. So, I'll definitely go into KSP and we'll test it. For sure.